Looked up to see how much a ticket is for the final on Sunday. Guess what they're going for? Top of the stadium.
Thousands.
$7,000 for a nosebleed seat right now. And it's probably going to go up before Sunday, but that's what they're going for right now.
That is expensive. I guess I'll watch on TV.
I think I'm going to watch on TV too. Yeah, I can see better, I can hear the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Speaking of things to watch on television this evening, the President of the United States is actually hosting a primetime address to the nation. It's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Newsmax will be sure to cover it for you. And of course, we'll be discussing it here on First Edition tomorrow morning.
I'm sure it's going to make headlines here tomorrow. It seems to be, a lot of people are speculating what it will be. We don't know. We'll break it all down tomorrow.
Perhaps it could be about the state of war with Iran and also
Unchanging truth in an ever-changing world. Turning Point with Dr. David Jeremiah. Wednesdays on theDove TV. Encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to theDove. Encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on theDove.
Well, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Paulina is back. Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy Thursday.
Thank you very much.
A lot going on.
I know.
Are you tired of the smoke?
Oh, it hasn't been that bad here.
It's moving around, you know.
Yeah, there are some days. Sunday, I remember, it was pretty smoky, and I mean, obviously, it's hard to complain when you know some people have to evacuate and sit on their suitcases, literally, wait for that notice. So we can deal with smoke as long as they can deal with the fire. But we'll have an update on that?
Yeah, I got quite an update on that. There's a picture we took earlier this morning. You can see this. I think Scott has it for us. It also shows the temperature inversion, which holds, there it is. And if you look off to the left there, you'll see the glow of the actual fire. And then that's the smoke, and the temperature inversion, or the air inversion, I should say, will keep the smoke at a low elevation. So it's crossing the top of the mountains to the north, and then it kind of shifts and comes down the east side of the valley over the top of the mountains. Most of the valley this morning is clear. Now, yesterday at this time, it was over the top of us. You could see it, smell it, and taste it. But today it seems to be a little bit to the north. So the folks at the north end of the valley, I would assume, you know, up around Shady Cove and that area, they're feeling it and tasting it, and we'll talk about that. Unfortunately, the fire really flared up yesterday. We'll talk about that. These are some of the airplanes on the ramp. They were all flying last night or late yesterday afternoon into the evening. And so those are some of the aircraft out on the tarmac. So they'll be getting ready a little bit later on during the day and adding to it. At one point, there were numerous helicopters and airplanes flying around about from about 4 o'clock to almost dusk last night. So, but the wind is the problem. It just kicked the fire up. It's pushing 8,000 acres now. So
yeah. So when you see that fluffy cloud in the sky, is that part of a smoke, or is it just?
Okay, so what happens when the wind stops, and it does once in a while, it just stops and goes stagnant. The heat from the fire will go up and mix with the cold air and the moisture in there and create its own cumulus cloud on top of the smoke. And so in extreme cases, a fire can create its own thunderstorm.
Oh, wow.
And so, and that happened last year in Northern California, or 2 years ago. But so what happens, you'll see the smoke, and then you'll see a big puffy white cloud.
Yeah, and we've seen it here
the
last several days.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a nuclear explosion, but it's white, and it's sitting on top of kind of a grayish smoke. Yeah,
so what it is, that's the heat from the fire coming up, that's the gray, mixes with the cooler air, and what moisture is in the air. Today it's supposed to be like 12 degrees cooler, so praise the Lord for that. But when that happens, it creates its own cumulus cloud, and it almost looks nuclear. It really does. But and then all of a sudden the wind will kick in, and that thing will kind of neutralize, and it blows all over the place. But it can under certain circumstances create its own thunderstorm.
Wow,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, well, today we do have a few things to commemorate. Number one is getting to know your customers. You talk about it a lot, knowing your base. Well, today reminds you whether you're in business or just in ministry, whatever it is, customer, will use that term loosely, but it's a reminder to get to know people you serve. Then it's National AI Day. I did not know that AI now has a national day, but artificial intelligence actually goes back to 1956, and today we celebrate everything from GPS navigation to medical research to ChatGPT or whatever else and however else you use
Siri.
AI. Siri, there you go.
Serious
That's
AI?
AI, yeah. And then to eat corn fritters day.
Oh.
These crispy golden treats have been enjoyed in America since the 1800s and are especially popular during the summer when sweet corn is at its peak. So whether you like them savory or with a touch of sweetness, today is a great excuse to enjoy a classic comfort food.
It is. Some people dip them. Some people put syrup on them.
been so
Whatever
long
your
since I've had
whatever
them.
your taste buds want.
Yeah, so have some corn fritters.
Corn fritters. All right, good stuff. All right, excuse me. Good morning to you. Let's check out the weather.
Here's a look at Thursday's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, showers likely before partly sunny skies in Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Through the Willamette Valley, a chance of showers gives way to partial sun in Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Becoming sunny and 79 for Eugene with temperatures in the 50s tonight. Dry in central Oregon with sunshine across the region. Highs reach 90 in Prineville, the mid-80s in Bend and Sun River, while Boise turns much hotter with a chance of thunderstorms before sun and 103. Along the Oregon coast, gradual clearing brings a high of 66 in Coos Bay. Port Orford stays sunny in the mid-60s. Brookings mostly sunny near 55, and Crescent City seeing decreasing clouds and 61. In southern Oregon, sunny weather continues with highs in the mid to upper 80s in Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Overnight temperatures drop into the 50s with a light northwest wind. Across northern California, sunny in Wairika near 89. Hot conditions maintain in Redding near 100 and Chico 98, while Fort Bragg stays mostly sunny with a high near 59. Sunny weather continues across the Bay Area with highs near 89 in Santa Rosa, 85 in Napa, 70 in San Francisco, and 82 in San Jose, with wind gusts near 20 miles per hour. Across Central California, hot sunshine with highs in the mid-90s from Sacramento through Stockton and Modesto. Heat continues through Fresno and Visalia near 101 and Bakersfield around 102. That's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op.
And there's again the picture of our backyard. That's a live shot there. So looking to the north and can't quite see the glow. It's a little bit to the left here. You'll see the glow from the fire, but the clouds are low because of the air inversion, and that'll stay until probably the sun gets up a little bit and heats up. But a little cooler today, 10 to 12 degrees cooler today. That should help a lot. But boy, that fire flared up last night. And I have another story coming up. All the fires in the state of Oregon are just put your brain on tilt. The state's on fire again.
Wow.
So we'll talk about that coming up.
Well, loving your neighbor as yourself. We've heard this commandment many, many times, and yet there are so many different interpretations of it. And here is Pastor Jack Graham talking about Paul's telling his readers about loving your neighbor as yourself.
He said in Romans 13, owe no man anything except to love one another. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. For the commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are summed up in this word. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to a neighbor. Therefore, love is fulfilling the law. So the life of liberty is this life of love. And like Jesus, Paul says the way to love people, are you listening, is to keep the commandments. The way to love people is to keep the commandments. When we keep the commandments, we are loving God and we are loving our neighbor. It's good to remember today that the 10 commandments are good because they are God's commandments and they are good for you.
Yeah. Do you obey them?
Yeah. And do we know how to love ourselves? So we can
Well,
love our neighbor?
I think that is a really interesting topic. What does it mean to love yourself? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I have found out that people really struggle with that, and it's because they can't seem to accept God's forgiveness of the past. So they have a hard time loving themselves. They still think they're a flawed person. So then my response to that is then you're living two lives. You're living this life out front of being somebody and testifying that you're this person, but inside you're not.
Yeah.
You know?
Easier said than done, of course.
Yeah,
I think we all struggle with that.
We all struggle with that.
And especially people who've never experienced love before, true love. And then they have to learn what it's like, really believe that God loves them. If you think about it, you do something nice for a person today, and this may be the only time someone truly loved them. I mean, there are people out there who don't have love that many of us do get to experience.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but it is.
Very sad.
That's life.
All right. Well, love thy neighbor this morning as you love yourself. Good morning to you. Let's check out some of the top stories. Well, over the night, the United States continues some strong attacks and strikes against Iran's military targets there, especially along the Straits of Hormuz. The United States launched fresh rounds of strikes on military targets there yesterday morning, with focus on degrading Iran's ability to attack commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. So some of the images that we're seeing here are along there. They're looking at the big island out there, whether or not the United States is going to attack that island. I don't know. I don't know the strategy here. But I would say day by day, the Iranian Guard continues to be weakened. And when you take out these strategic places, I don't know what's left. I really don't know what's left. So is it? How do you say that island? Is that
Karg?
Karg Island?
I don't know. Karg Island?
Okay. Well, apparently they are. They're not ruling it out, but they're talking about maybe taking that. That's the island right on the peak of the peninsula there. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Well, 90% of Iran's crude oil leaves through that island, so it's a very important strategic point. And there have been talks about capturing it or attacking it or occupying it for years. Now, capturing it is one thing. What do you do with it afterwards? It's a whole new animal. Capturing it would require military, navy, so much resources. And as we know, a lot of the time in military, signaling something can have more impact than actually doing it. So President Trump likes to throw those threats. He doesn't obviously reveal exactly what's going to happen. So we'll see. That's kind of like the phrase we use a lot, we'll see. You probably saw the news that they've released a United States citizen, Iran. And President Trump says it's a goodwill gesture for them to release a United States citizen, dual citizenship, who's been held in Iran for a couple of years. So is this kind of a pressure making these developments or whatever possible? I don't know. And I hope we don't capture Iran's island, but it's definitely something on the table right now.
I think what it is, to your point, you're making the point, it's the threat to take it over or to destroy it is huge, because it is the place where the oil from Iran gets dispersed around the world. It's the place. And if you destroy it, you would ruin global economy. If you take it over, that's something else. You would control it. So I don't know. We'll see. But the woman that was released yesterday, yes, it was a good gesture. It was like a little bit of an olive branch. But the president's rhetoric on dealing with Iran has completely changed in the last 2 weeks. He's basically saying they can't be trusted, they're this, they're that. He's using some pretty strong language there. So maybe in his brain something's clicked and it's a different day.
We only see what they show us.
There you go. All right. Well, yesterday was another interesting day in Israel's or in Israel's Knesset. The speaker of the Knesset yesterday did a moment of silence in respect and memory of Senator Lindsey Graham.
In honor of one of the greatest friends the state of Israel has ever had, members of the Knesset from both sides of the aisle will now rise for a moment of silence to pay our respects to the legendary Senator Lindsey Graham. May his memory be a blessing. נכבד את זכרו בקימה. תודה רבה.
Stunning.
It is a very unusual recognition, usually reserved for presidents and world leaders. And the fact that Israel is honoring a United States senator like this is very special. Of course, it was never a secret that Lindsey Graham was a very big supporter and friend of Israel. Perhaps yet to find out what his legacy will be, but he'll be known more not for his domestic legislation, but for his influence on foreign policy, Ukraine, Iran, Israel. So not a surprise, but is a very special and rare moment, definitely.
Yeah, I was kind of stunned by it. I've never seen the Knesset do that for anybody outside of themselves before. They probably have. I just never had paid any attention to it. Lindsey Graham, Senator Graham's love and respect and defense of Israel brought him and Alan Dershowitz together, because on many occasions they were at opposite ends, especially during the Clinton impeachment and all that. But their both love for Israel brought them together. So to me, that was a stunning moment. I go, wow, that's something.
Well, and Benjamin Netanyahu is planning on attending the funeral, and that's partially why the plans are being delayed, because some world leaders and dignitaries want to come, and so you have to coordinate all that.
Okay. The other thing is that the president has kind of made a little bit of a nod towards Representative Russell Fry to fulfill Senator Lindsey Graham's seat. In other words, he is saying Representative Fry from the House should go over and run for the Senate and go for Lindsey Graham's replacement there in the primary. As you know, there's going to be a special election, a special Republican primary in the state of South Carolina on August 9th, or 19th. I got to get that date straight. I'll think of that. I think it's 9th. And so anyway, that's when they're going to have a special Republican primary in the state of South Carolina. This kind of surprises me, because I don't know much about this person. This is going to be an interesting test on the president's influence, because other people are thinking about running anyway. And if they don't get a 51% election on the 9th, then it goes to the 19th for a runoff for the top two. There was rumors yesterday of Nikki Haley, who's former governor, was maybe going to throw her hat in the ring. That's a rumor, but, you know, there's people like Trey Gowdy. There's other names that are floating around out there. So I don't know much about Representative Russell Fry, but apparently he's getting the preliminary nod from the president. I don't know how much weight that carries.
That's a good question. Would Trump's endorsement help him? But it would be kind of a interesting succession, because Lindsey Graham did come from the House as well. He was a representative representing South Carolina's 7th district before he became a senator. So it will be interesting to see if that happens, and if that's who succeeds him. Okay,
so between now and the next couple of weeks, they'll be putting some names out there. The president's going to make a speech tonight. What is it about? He made the announcement yesterday. It's one of the biggest things ever, which is kind of his forte. When he announces things. But in the meantime, the White House is considering releasing sensitive intelligence material related to China and its ability to interfere with U.S. elections. Is it somebody said the speech has to do with election. I don't know what it is, but Secretary Bessent apparently is really uncovering something here about how China has been very influential in American elections. And here's a little bit what he had to say.
Well, I'd rather save it. It will concern that subject, and we'll have a couple of other things to say also. But I'd rather save it, but it's really big news. It's really, really big news. And our country has to shape up. But that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday is it doesn't get bigger, because without free and fair elections, you don't have a country. We'll be discussing other things too, but it's going to be a very big announcement. Yeah.
It has to do with the elections. It probably has a lot to do with the election interference. Bessent is now connecting the dots on some other things that are going on with China as it relates to even financial dealings. So the combination of the two, the president has made this tease. He said that yesterday in the White House. So it has to do with elections. What it has to do with elections, I don't know. I was asking the question late yesterday, still haven't gotten the answer to it. Can the president invoke an executive order over the top of SAVE Act? We know that it would be challenged, but can he invoke an executive order on that issue? The problem with that is that would be a federal act, and state controls their own elections. Mm-hmm. So you got to remember, take for instance the UK is a federal government in one state, all in one. We're a federal government in 50 states.
Right,
yeah, so it's a little bit.
What are the rules? Also, it would be interesting. What are the rules guiding the executive orders? Can the executive order actually say that this executive order now influences state decisions on election? You know, can you phrase it in a way that would interfere with state election rules? I don't know how you can and cannot. But he's such a great marketer. He knows how to tease his speeches to make it's going to be the biggest. And we'll see. It is interesting that we've known for years China has influenced elections through propaganda, through population kind of manipulation of public opinion. What else have they done? Will we actually learn something tonight?
I think what we'll find out, I don't know if it's in the speech, Secretary Bessent probably will begin to uncover how China has gotten money into campaign coffers.
Okay, that would be
and
news.
That is yeah. All right, well, those are some of the top stories. We'll give you the fire update, and not just one, but a bunch of them when we come back.
Visit fishlikeresorts.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests, or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Pastor Jack Hibbs, championing religious liberty, a deep love of God, freedom, and America. You may have seen him in the news during COVID as he pushed back against government-mandated church closures. Now you can see him on theDove TV every weekend on Real Life with Jack Hibbs. Learn, grow in your faith, and impact the world with authentic biblical teaching. Watch Real Life with Jack Hibbs Sundays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on theDove TV.
Hi, good morning to you. A couple of things here. Let me give you the fire update. Let me also say at the top of the this little thing here today, you ever made a mistake?
Me?
Okay, I'm sorry. I should. I'm human. I make mistakes, and unintentional mistakes. And this has been a bad week. I've had to admit to about 4 things that I goofed up on.
It's kind of hard, huh, to admit?
Well, I haven't. Anyway, what I did yesterday in giving the report, I flipped the evacuation levels. And I know better than that, but I just, I maybe should get more than 2 hours sleep.
Well, you know what, though? I don't think people realize what it's like to sit in the studio.
Well,
we don't have teleprompters, and oftentimes we're working with information that comes in, and you're juggling it all in your brain. So give yourself a little.
I know better. Well, I just want to say for the 3 of you that contacted me yesterday, and a couple were pretty firm, I'll put it that way. I understand, okay, level 1, okay, is, is those various zones. It's kind of like 3. It's 1, 2, 3. 1 is kind of get ready. 2 is you're get ready really to go,
right.
And 3 go. And yesterday in my delivery, that I guess I reversed those, and I went back. You know what I did? I actually pulled up the tape. I looked at it, and I go, "Yep, that's what I said."
But look what
I know better, but I said it wrong. So I apologize. I'm human. I make mistakes. And this is the 3rd time this week on the air I've had to admit to a mistake. So
I'm sorry, but it happens. But I'm looking at the text messages I receive. Like in one day, you'll get level 2, level 3, level 2, level, and then it just goes up and down. So yeah, be ready.
So let me give you a little bit of update what's happening with the big East Evans Creek fire. It is now the biggest fire in the state, but it's not the only fire in the state. To Paulina's earlier comment, there's a picture of the heat and the cloud developing. And so that's the heat coming up from the fire, mixing with the cooler air and creating its own cumulus cloud. It's just the way it is. Yesterday's wind pushed this fire all over the place. It was really flared up yesterday. It was messy all over the place. And then they create what they call spot fires. The fires are around 8,000 acres, at least late last night. It could have developed more, but that's the last report. It's still only 5% contained. They're holding a lot of lines out there. The fire does seem to be moving a little bit to the northeast area. The problem with the fire is what they call spot fires, and there was the Board Mountain spot fire that literally yesterday afternoon grew to 1,000 acres itself. Last night, there were 6 helicopters. I say last night. By the way, that picture there is Eagle Point Middle School. That is now a shelter for people that need to go. The Eagle Point Middle School is an open shelter. But last night they had 6 helicopters. They had a bunch of ground equipment, bulldozers, trucks, fire trucks, all that. About 1,200, 1,300 people are on the scene. That includes support group. The other thing is that we had 3 airplanes. We had 4 actually airplanes last night flying on it. That one there is the electric. That hasn't gone out yet. That's still sitting on the tarmac. Those 3 there, 2 of the British Avros, they had the little 4-engine jets, and then there's a 737 flying on it and the DC-10 on the other side. All of that's here right outside our door here this morning. And they're obviously waiting for the conditions to go fly and to do it there. So the equipment, the assets, the equipment on this fire is unbelievable. But the nasty thing of the day is the wind. It just creates all kinds of problems. And boy, so they're fighting it like that. But listen to this. That's our 8,000-acre backyard fire. By the way, if you're going to the fair and you look up, that's the backdrop of the county fair, right?
You know,
okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to give you these other fires. Hopkins Fire, Porcupine Fire. These are over in the eastern Oregon area. 2,500 acres, 1,000 acres. The Cove Creek Fire, 1,000 acres. Cross White Fire, 1,000 acres. Out towards La Grande, there's a 5,000-acre fire. The Lower Dry Creek, 5,000 acres. Anthony Fire, 1,900 acres. Olive Butte Fire, this is around Baker City, 25 acres. We're pushing 30,000 acres of land in the state of Oregon that's on fire right now.
Wow, it's crazy.
So,
you know, I was reading about it because I don't know much about fires or weather, and you mentioned spot fires. I didn't realize, you know, just to think about it, how fast they spread. Like it can travel a mile before the main fire, just keeps setting it. And if it goes uphill, it spreads faster than downhill because it heats up vegetation above it, and all these things have to be taken into account when you're fighting it. So it's not just. So much goes into planning.
Well, it's firefighting. It's serious, dangerous business. When you had the winds we had yesterday, and all of a sudden you got this fire going. Just as an example, you can get a fire inside of a tree. It'll start to burn, and you won't see it. And then all of a sudden that tree will explode. That sends ambers in the air, caught by the wind. It'll blow it down wherever it's going to go or across another mile or so, land on the ground, catch that grass on fire, and boom, you got 1,000 acres just like that. And that's what was happening yesterday. So it's serious stuff. And be praying for these people. It is hard, hard work. So there are, let's see. Okay, let me give you this. Level 3, which is go. There's 5 zones now that are being reported. Level 2, and this is just on this fire here at the East Evans fire. Level 2, there were 12 zones, which is basically you're about ready to go. And level 1, which is get ready, there were 12 zones. Even in Douglas County yesterday, they now have 2 zones under level 1. So this is happening. This is real stuff out there. So be careful. And again, I apologize. I know better. I know what it is. I said it wrong.
Yeah.
So,
and so is the Eagle Point Middle School now the place for?
It's a shelter.
A shelter.
And there's other. If you go to Watch Duty, it give you a lot of information there too. But people who have animals probably know where to take them by now. Okay. If they haven't made arrangements, they know where to go. And people who are just needed shelter, they can go over to the Shady Cove.
The Eagle Point?
Excuse me, Eagle Point, not Shady Cove. The Eagle Point Middle School, and there's beds and food and things there. And you know, the other thing is, I saw online people who are not in the fire zone but close to it. You're welcome to come to our house. You're welcome to bring your animals. This is really amazing.
Yeah, it was
on
pretty
Facebook.
special to see people saying, who needs
come on
help?
over
I got
here.
a
We'll take care of you. You can park your trailer here a lot. If you have an RV, you can park it here. We'll hook it up there. So the community in these disasters really come together. Reminds me, you know, what we saw a couple of years ago with the Alameda fire. Hope and pray to God that doesn't happen again. But anyway, it's very serious. Pray that it's cooler today. It's supposed to be like 10 to 12 degrees cooler today. That will help. And that we don't get those afternoon winds. About 2:30, 3 o'clock, this wind kicks up, and boy, it is really blowing, you know. A couple other little quick reminders. Another group that I have high regard for is Salvation Army. They're opening their Hope House tomorrow, and if you're in Southern Oregon, you may want to take this on. But the grand opening will be tomorrow at 10 in the morning there at the Hope House on Cruz Road here in Medford. I would say that Major and Randy and Johnette Mulch, just wonderful people doing a job. Salvation Army is, I can't say enough about how they help people. Have you seen that? That's the picture of the house.
Beautiful.
Isn't that something? And their program is all around not only helping people, but obviously at the end giving them the gospel. So it's called the Hope House, helping other people excel. So tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock will be the dedication on that.
And congratulations to Majors.
Take a satellite look at the weather real quick. Oh, there we go. Hot and dry.
Oh, that's it?
Okay.
Well, when are you writing your book?
Me?
When is it coming out?
I haven't got time to write a book. If I'm making mistakes on the air, I clearly can't write a book.
You can write a book about that. You know who's writing a book?
Who?
Former President Joe Biden.
No.
He has announced that he'll be publishing his memoirs titled Promise Me, America. And not only is he writing a book, he released a video talking about this upcoming book. So here it is.
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, what have you been doing? I've been spending a lot of time with my family. I'm dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I've been getting treatment, and it's been going really well. I want to thank all those who offered their prayers and support and well wishes. It's meant the world to me and to Jill. I've written a book about my time as president. It's called Promise Me, America. It's coming out in November, and it's available for pre-order now. It's about the challenges we faced as a nation, about the decisions I made, and why I made them. Leading the country through COVID, rebuilding our economy, and restoring our democracy after the attack on January 6th. Ending our nation's longest war in Afghanistan, strengthening NATO, and supporting Ukraine. It's about why I chose to run for re-election and why I chose to step aside. Most of all, it's about my faith in the promise of America. The promise we made to those who've gone before us is to honor their sacrifice. The promises we made to one another and to treat everyone with dignity and respect. And the promises we made to future generations of Americans to remain the beacon to the world. Promise Me America is about my faith in America and the American people. I hope you'll read it, and I hope it strengthens your faith in what we can do as a nation and a people.
Cue the jokes. I'm sure people will be questioning whether it's him or the autopan writing it, and who is behind this book.
You and I do enough television production. I do it every day to know how tightly scripted that was. There was no complete sentence in there. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the problem, this is obviously a PR to recover the image,
presidency.
The presidency, the image, and there is no movement to him to have a library. Look, I feel sorry for the guy. I feel sorry that his family didn't rescue him sooner.
Well, and
I mean, overall, he's a nice guy. He's been around a long time, and everybody likes Joe. Joe's Joe, and Joe's the Joe. But at the end of the day, his presidency was a catastrophic failure, and they're trying to recover this. And I don't know if that did that any good.
What do you think about the timing? The article I read in Breitbart talked about the release of the book falling right after the midterms to prevent it from taking the attention from the election. And that's what the Democrats are afraid of, that Joe will take the unnecessary attention from the election. And yet, here we are, it's July, and we're already talking about it. Why now?
Well, this has got to be a family decision. I don't think, look, from what I understand, I don't know all of this, but the party has pretty much separated themselves from him. They realize he's a disaster, and it was a disaster. Nice person, just bad performance. And then you have the thing with Kamala. The radical part of the Democratic Party can't control those two people, and if they're not careful, that book and Kamala will be the reason, if they get out in front of the midterm election in November, they will be the reason that the Democrats lose.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, just quick, I did ask AI, since it is National AI Day, do you know Perry Atkinson?
Oh, no.
He does. And I asked, well, if Perry was to write a book, a memoir, what would be the title? You ready?
Yeah.
More Than a Microphone.
Why?
Because it conveys that the story isn't really about radio or television. It's about the ministry, the people, the challenges, and the faith behind the microphone.
That's brilliant. I might have to go with it. Is that really what it said?
Yeah. So now you just have to write it. or have AI write it.
Well, I guess I could dictate it in my phone, because that's how a lot of books get written now.
Yeah.
You dictate them in your phone, and then you send it off to AI, and they put it into words.
And with your experience and the stories you tell on air, I'm sure if you just took a week off, if you could, and just like you said, dictate your thoughts, your stories, and have someone ask you questions, there can be a series of books.
Well, we'll see what happens. I'm in that stage in life where I'm making mistakes now. I ought to give some things second thoughts. We'll be right back.
The same God with you then is with you now. Oh.
Jerry's Historical Archives. U.S. History. Great moments in time. Record breakers. Our music through the years. Relive the past and learn something new. Open up Jerry's Historical Archives. Weekdays only on Mornings on the Dove. Tackling the tough issues facing America and our nation's freedom. That's Sekalo on the Dove TV.
DAs around the country finding who they want to prosecute and then determining what crime they could charge them with.
You can't believe this is the country we're living in, that this is happening.
A bold half hour hosted by ACLJ's Jordan and Logan Sekalo, taking you inside the battle of constitutional and political freedom, discussing issues that matter to you and your family.
This is just not the right precedent we want to be setting, even if we don't like Donald Trump.
This is just all-out chaos, and that's what could happen very soon.
Watch Sekalo for issues that matter to you, addressing the problems of Christian rights in the workplace, school, the marketplace, and protecting human life.
I hope this doesn't have to go all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Be in the know with Sekalo. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday only on the Dove TV.
Welcome back, and of course, activity there in Iran continues. Quite the activity even last night in the last 24 hours. So let's check in with Julie Stahl at CBN News and get caught up on the latest.
The United States launched a new wave of strikes against Iran early Wednesday, hitting dozens of military targets during a 7-hour operation after reimposing a blockade on Iranian ports. U.S. Central Command says the strikes targeted missile and drone sites, naval capabilities, and coastal defense systems after Iran targeted shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian officials said the strikes also hit an army barracks, killing at least 7 soldiers. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper says Iran has intentionally targeted civilians across the region by attacking 7 commercial ships. The U.S. has surged its presence in the region with 19 warships, including 2 aircraft carriers and hundreds of warplanes. Iran responded with new attacks, launching drones at Jordan and striking U.S. military facilities in Kuwait and Bahrain. The IRGC declared the Strait of Hormuz would remain closed until the United States ends its acts of aggression. At the White House, President Donald Trump said the strait remains open. He dropped the idea of charging a 20% fee on all cargo ships using the strait, saying Gulf allies are prepared to increase investments in the United States instead.
Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait, primarily, and then others. I spoke to all of them, and they would love to invest more money in the United States at record amounts, and this way there's no fee.
The president pledged to continue hitting Iran hard and warned the attacks will expand to power plants and bridges next week. He also did not rule out seizing Karg Island, an Iranian hub for exporting oil. In Washington, Senate Democrats blocked debate on the annual defense bill, insisting Congress should authorize the military campaign in Iran before approving more than $1 trillion in defense spending. Meanwhile, the House is set to vote on Representative Tom Massey's proposal to bar State Department funding for Israel. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries opposes the measure, saying it would also limit humanitarian aid and efforts to confront Hamas, Hezbollah, and other terrorist organizations. In Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned Tehran against testing Israel again.
Gone are the days when someone could strike us without facing a crushing blow in return.
At the same time, reports say President Trump urged Netanyahu to withdraw Israeli troops from Syria and Lebanon, reportedly telling him, "They don't want you there. You should redeploy." Israeli officials say there has been no change to the IDF's deployment. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to travel to Washington, D.C. on Saturday night for a visit through Tuesday to attend the memorial service for Senator Lindsey Graham. It's unclear if he'll meet with President Trump during his visit.
We continue our coverage now with Julie Stahl joining us from Israel. Julie, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is warning Iran not to attack Israel again. Are the people in Israel ready for more warfare with Iran?
You know, Ephraim, the military is certainly ready, more than ready. Netanyahu isn't making vain threats, that's for sure. And I think there's even a sense of like, come on, let us in, let us in. However, it's summertime. Kids are out of school. People are trying to get away for summer holidays. They're tired. They want to, after the summer holidays come the Jewish holidays. But they're tired, but I would say they're ready. They know how necessary it is to finish the job. Without finishing the job, they won't have peace. Not in Gaza, not in Lebanon, not in Iran, not with any of their neighbors.
It seems right now that the U.S. and Iran are basically back at war again. What can you tell us about this?
Well, President Trump, is demanding that the Iranians they come back to the table and negotiate. And they've been hitting them pretty hard, with all the strikes that they've been doing, the fresh strikes. And then again, Iran is hitting back at American bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, different places, or trying to. But in any case, it's President Trump. He's threatened to hit power plants and bridges next week unless Tehran resumes the negotiations. I think Trump is serious. I don't think he ever wasn't serious. There's been some discussion about the refueling planes that are at American refueling planes that are at Israel's main airport, but it seems like the U.S. needs them to stay in Israel, and they're probably there for a reason. So I would say that the ceasefire is unraveling, and Trump is serious.
What can you tell us about Iran's threat to shut down another key gateway, this one to the Red Sea?
Well, Ephraim, analysts, are warning that, Tehran could redirect Yemen's Houthi rebels to shut down the Bab el-Mandab Strait, which is the gateway to the Red Sea. That would extend the global shipping threat beyond the Gulf. It would make it worse. And I wouldn't put it past Iran to do that. It could drive oil prices up as high as $200 a barrel, or so they say. Some analysts have said that Iran, they didn't win they can't really win militarily, but Iran is kind of learning how to do something around the bush, kind of, how to hurt the U.S. where it hurts, money, oil, gas. And if Iran can get rid of Trump politically, that kind of solves their problem for now.
Well, okay. We'll see. The mystery continues. The mystery continues. All right, let's take a look. Well, what do we got? Oh, we're way over. Why don't we go to history? Let's go to history. Well, let's just go to history.
Well, it is a historic day. July 16th, 1969 is when Apollo 11 went up towards the moon, and of course there were news coverage, and this little clip is Apollo taking off, and CBS commenting on that. So just take a look.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, it looks good, Wally.
Somebody must be leaving town.
Building's shaking. We're getting that buffeting we've become used to.
Looks like a good trajectory so far, doesn't it, Wally? Very good, very good. That's
beautiful.
That was on this day, 1969. Apollo 11 launched from Kennedy Space Center, carrying Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. A historic day.
It is. I just don't know if I'd have the nerve to sit on top of a rock and somebody light it. Okay, one other interesting thing, more and more fraud. Of course, you know, DOGE has been pretty much shut down. However, the investigation of fraud continues. And California Post Opinion, Joel Pollack spoke with Fox Business there with Barney and Company, talking about California's SNAP fraud investigation. How big is it and what is it? Here you go. Take a look.
Well, basically, some of the store owners were exchanging food stamps for cash and kickbacks. And what the feds discovered was that there were small bodegas running up million-dollar tabs in food stamps, and the kickbacks were providing the bulk of those transactions. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is one bust, but the fraud is likely much bigger than that, and that's what happens when you have a state that is absolutely awash in government spending. It is very difficult to keep tabs on all the money going out the door. Since Gavin Newsom took office in 2019, the amount of money that California spends every year has gone up by 40%. That's after inflation. It's higher if you don't account for inflation. And with all of that money leaving, as in the unemployment fraud during the pandemic, you're going to find a lot of very crafty people finding a way to take some of it for themselves, and that appears to be happening with SNAP and EBT.
Okay, just the beginning. Okay, we'll take a snap break. We'll be right back.
Time and space, you reach beyond majestic beauty to this broken place. You reach beyond heaven's glory.
How can I grow spiritually? It's one of the most meaningful questions we can ask, and you're not alone in asking it. Over the years, 5 simple but powerful keys have helped countless people deepen their faith. 1, rediscover the Bible. Let God's Word speak to you in new and fresh ways. 2, restart your prayer life. Even small, consistent steps make a big difference. 3, reconnect with God's people. We truly are better together. 4, resist your sinful habits. Grace is always greater, and change is possible. And 5, invest in others. This might just be the most life-giving one of all. God has a place for you to serve in people He's specifically placed in your path. So here's a loving nudge. Don't just sit back and soak up another sermon. Take what you've learned and start living it out. When you pray for and support the Dove, you're stepping into something bigger than you might realize. You become a media missionary right alongside us, carrying hope and encouragement into thousands of homes every single hour, in your own backyard and literally around the world. Your generous support keeps the Dove on the air and actively spreads the gospel far and wide. We are so grateful for every partner who makes that possible. Would you prayerfully consider a special summertime gift today? Summers are always a little challenging for us, and your support would mean a lot. You can give anytime by calling 541-776-5368 or safely and securely at our new website, theDove.us. Thank you so much for your partnership. Together, we really are changing lives for good and pointing people to the Lord every single day.
All right, 7 minutes before the top of the hour. Polina and Perry here with you this morning. Well, you know, if you listen to the legacy media, you're going to hear something. It's a wipeout in the House, and the Democrats are going to take control. Mm-hmm. You only hear that on the legacy media, okay? Yeah. So that ought to tell you something. And that's just their wishful thinking. Who knows? I mean, we don't know until Election Day. But in the meantime, I had Dennis Neal on. He's quite a guy. He's, you know, he's with Forbes magazine. He writes. He's got this book out called Orgoners. Mm-hmm. Oregonians that have left. Our state. He's really a fun guy to talk to. But I did ask him, hey, buddy, Dennis, what are you thinking about midterms? What's your take? And here's what he had to say.
I know everybody's thinking it's going to be a Democrat wave. I think the Republicans could really pull out a big surprise here if they play their hand right. And especially with the socialist takeover at the top of the Democrat Party and with leadership like Kami Mamdani. What other choice do you have if you are a sane voter? And so I'm hopeful that will do far better than they expect in the House. I think they're projected to lose the House control. The one thing I do think, though, Perry, what do you think of this? It won't matter if they lose because they haven't been doing anything with their majority anyway. It's all been Trump by executive order, Trump by sheer testosterone and force of will getting things done. Congress has had almost nothing to do with it. Look at Ro Khanna, one of the biggest Democrat dimwit narcissists of our day right now. You know, first he throws a campaign event for Graham Plattner, alleged rapist, even after most of the abuse allegations and all that stuff came out, and he's throwing him a party. Then he goes to, quote, Palestine, insists that he was detained by Israeli forces when he wasn't at all, and the video even shows it, just trying to divert from the Graham Plattner gaffe. Yeah. And this is one of the stars of the party. And then the socialism everywhere, and the LGBTQ agenda, which has been taken over by the trans agenda, which is only 6 people out of 1,000. I mean, I was just applying for new doctors down here in South Florida, where I moved in January, and getting to know, and every single form said, what is your gender at birth? A sign. And what is your gender now?
Funny how he can call people names and make it fun.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Yeah. All right, well, let's see. We got some great people coming up today. Troy Miller will be with us. Perfect timing. Thank you for getting me him, because something happened with the FCC yesterday, and I'm going to ask him about it. I'm not happy about it. As much as I like our new chairman, he's a good guy, I think he's making a wrong decision on this one. But we'll talk about that.
I was going to ask you about that story. I saw it on Breitbart.
Yeah.
With the ownership, and the way it was presented was a good thing.
No,
we're going to save TV like we didn't save newspapers.
That is a cover-up, in my opinion, because the reality is, for those of us who are small television operators in local markets. Anyway, I'll ask Troy about it because I'm not happy about it. But it hasn't happened yet. But that's coming down the pike. All right, take with you Hebrews 4:16. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. All right. Come boldly before. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that a pretty picture? Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot of smoke there. Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Paulina Leiser, producer and host of The Ancient Church. Join me Sunday evenings as we explore Orthodox Christianity, its history, theology, worship, and living traditions.
The Ancient Church, Sundays at 6 p.m. on the Dove TV.
We are moving. We are so excited to share that Habitat for Humanity Rogue Valley's administrative office and our Restore will soon be moving down the road to our new location at 2655 South Pacific Highway.
This move is really about making sure we'll be able to continue serving families in Jackson County for years to come. Right now, we're building 16 homes in Jackson County, 12 right here in Medford, and finishing 4 in Ashland. Our mission is not changing. We're still building homes, building hope, and partnering with families right here in Jackson County.
The Restore is getting a new home, but we're still the same Restore you know and love. We'll still be accepting donations, offering great deals, and keeping usable items out of the landfill and raising funds to support Habitat's mission. We are so grateful for everyone who has supported Habitat and the Restore over the years. This move allows us to keep growing, keep serving, and keep building a stronger future.
Same mission,
Same highway.
New home.
we can't wait to see you there.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV. In a world desperately seeking truth, Cliff Connectley and his son Stuart travel across the U.S. to give an answer for questions, doubts, and challenges concerning faith.
What is the evidence that Muhammad spoke the truth? What is the evidence that Jesus Christ spoke the truth?
Their mission is to ignite a passion for truth, guide individuals to embrace faith, and help people find purpose, engaging skeptics.
It kind of sounds like then that God punished us. The vast majority of chaos in nature is a direct result of God stepping back.
They're driven by a deep commitment for spreading the message of Christ to a world who needs it.
But you see, what Satan has done is he's put doubt in our mind.
Join them as they strive to make a lasting impact on lives and hearts, sharing the love of Jesus with an unwavering dedication.
Because God loves you, and God has given you gifts.
Watch Give Me an Answer, weekdays at 3 on the Dove TV. Unchanging truth in an ever-changing world. Turning Point with Dr. David Jeremiah. Wednesdays on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Thursday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. Paulina is back.
Happy Thursday. Thank you for having me.
Well, hey.
We are here to celebrate all kinds of things.
All kinds of things. It's Thursday, better known as Friday Eve. The one thing that just kind of give you a little bit of a highlight, the fire to the north of us, the biggest one in the state, really flared up yesterday. We have a little bit of a picture of earlier this morning, give you a little idea what it is. If you look clear to the left of that shot, you'll see the red glow. That's the fire, but the air inversion is keeping the cloud or the smoke down on the top of the mountains, in some cases down into the valley floor. But that's primarily to the north of us, and that's what's happening out there right now. Most of the valley's in really beautiful, clean air at the moment. Mm-hmm. But that smoke is to the north, and then it kind of winds around and comes down to on the east side of the valley. But yesterday was a tough day on the fire. The afternoon winds created a lot of problems. We'll talk about that and we'll give you all the details. But right now, it's around 8,000 acres.
Yeah. Well, today we do have a few things to celebrate and commemorate. Get to know your customer day, whether you're a small business or maybe just dealing with people, which we all do. Get to know those people better and build some relationship. It's National AI Day, something we've had in our life but hasn't really known, I guess, about it. Like, I never thought that we had AI 10 years ago, but we did. Siri, GPS, a lot of AI things that have helped us for years. In fact, since 1956 officially. It's also National Personal Chef Day. A lot of women will raise their hands and say, that's me. But really, it's for those personal chefs who work for one family, which again could be probably any woman.
Do you struggle with what to fix for dinner?
Not really. No. Sometimes, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
That's a hard question to answer for me.
Well, you know, I think later on in life it becomes not a burden, it's just a hard thing because what do you do today? What do you do today that's different? What do you do?
Yeah.
Do you fix Tuesdays you have spaghetti and then Wednesdays you have soup? I mean, is that what you do? I mean,
I guess it depends. I can imagine it would be harder if you had kids, and we don't. So it's okay. It's just Patrick and I. So What do you want? Meat. Okay.
Well,
Do you want steak? Do you want hamburgers? Once in a while, it's, so our menu's a little more limited.
You could throw Patrick raw meat and he'd eat it.
Probably. I was talking to him about personal chefs yesterday because his dad was a colonel in the army, so they lived overseas in Egypt and Saudi Arabia. And when they lived in Egypt, he said when they first got there, before their villa was ready, they lived in a guest house and they had a personal chef.
Oh.
And it was fun for them to have.
Would you like to have one for a week or so?
It would be fun. Yeah, just
you kind of get that on a cruise ship, don't you?
I was gonna say like an all-inclusive resort or a cruise ship.
Yeah.
But well, Peggy does pretty well in the kitchen.
Oh, she's excellent.
So she can be a personal chef.
I just like I like cooking shows. I guess I'm weird. I like cooking shows.
But you're also not very demanding
chef.
when it comes to dinners. Like sometimes it's just cheese and crackers, right?
Yeah, I will say this, that the older you get, the less you want to eat.
Really? So there is hope, huh? Because I'm not there yet.
Who was I talking to the other day? We're kind of in the same age bracket. And I said, yeah, I can get by with a half a sandwich just fine,
Well, and you think about it, a lot of older people, they just kind of shrink. Probably has something to do with the amount of food we eat too. I told you, Perry, years ago that once your head starts disappearing in your shoulders, we'll let you know.
Okay.
You're not there yet. Okay, and then finally, we do have Corn Fritters Day today.
Ah, there you go.
And that's something that's been around since the 1800s, especially popular during the summer when sweet corn is at its peak. So savory, sweet, dipped, or deep fried, whatever it is. Today's the excuse to enjoy this classic comfort.
They're good. I've had them soft, and I've had them crunchy. I've had them, deep fried. Not a lot. I mean, it's just what I don't. It's nothing we fix at home, but I've had them.
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah. I feel like I'm looking at the pictures now. It's been a while since I've had corn fritters, but they look good. They probably taste good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the weather, see how that's going to go, because today could be just a tad cooler, which we welcome then.
Here's a look at Thursday's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, showers likely before partly sunny skies in Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Through the Willamette Valley, a chance of showers gives way to partial sun in Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Becoming sunny and 79 for Eugene with temperatures in the 50s tonight. Dry in central Oregon with sunshine across the region. Highs reach 90 in Prineville, the mid-80s in Bend and Sun River, while Boise turns much hotter with a chance of thunderstorms before sun and 103. Along the Oregon coast, gradual clearing brings a high of 66 in Coos Bay. Port Orford stays sunny in the mid-60s. Brookings mostly sunny near 55. And Crescent City seeing decrease in clouds and 61. In southern Oregon, sunny weather continues with highs in the mid to upper 80s in Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Overnight temperatures drop into the 50s with a light northwest wind. Across northern California, sunny in Wairika near 89. Hot conditions maintain in Redding near 100 and Chico 98, while Fort Bragg stays mostly sunny with a high near 59. Sunny weather continues across the Bay Area with highs near 89 in Santa Rosa, 85 in Napa, 70 in San Francisco, and 82 in San Jose, with wind gusts near 20 miles per hour. Across Central California, hot sunshine with highs in the mid-90s from Sacramento through Stockton and Modesto. Heat continues through Fresno and Visalia near 101 and Bakersfield around 102. That's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op.
Current look at our backyard, that's looking directly west right now. If you could look all the way to the right, which would be north, you would see the smoke. So most of the valley, not bad, considering the fire so close. And you can also just see a little bit of that heat haze at the top of the mountain. So, but at least 10 degrees cooler today, maybe more. So that's very, very much welcomed.
Well, if you woke up today, you open your eyes, you hopefully have roof on your head, over your head.
Yes.
You hopefully have limbs or ability to do things. I mean, there's so much to be grateful for, just starting with the fact that you're able to open your eyes. And yet, so many of us complain, even when we have a lot more than others. Happiness is a choice, and that's the reminder we have for us today from Pastor Jack Graham.
Covetousness is the opposite of contentment. J.D. Rockefeller was once asked how much money a millionaire, early millionaire in America, he said, how much money is enough money? And he said, just a little more. Because materialism is addictive. And greed, the need to have more than is proper. You know, God gives us richly all things to enjoy. But here's the thing, more things, more stuff does not bring you happiness. You know this intuitively, instinctively. You can't buy happiness. So we need to learn to live on less so that we can love more and give more. Someone said, to whom little is not enough, nothing is enough. To whom little is not enough, nothing is enough. So God says, do not covet. Covetousness is in the heart. It's a sin of pride.
I've always been amazed of people who come into this country through the door, like yourself and others, who come into this country, especially back in the very earlier days, in the 30s and 40s. They come into this country from another country. They have nothing and succeed. Those of us who are born here and have everything, somehow we're unhappy. I'm always amazed at that, how they saw what the American dream provided, nothing, and they worked hard. And so I'm wondering if we are we're over materialized to the point where even one more thing isn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people who go on mission trips have their lives changed when they see how people in other countries are rejoicing at clean water or a pair of shoes, things that we take for granted.
I always love it when our church sends young people down to Mexico once a year, and they build 2 or 3 houses down there. And I'm look, 2 or 3 houses, it's a box. It's literally a box, okay? And the families thought they just inherited a mansion. And these kids come back and they go, whoa.
And I think that what Pastor Jack there is saying too, like, there is nothing wrong with the comforts of this life, and there is nothing wrong with having good things, but be happy with when you don't, and be happy when you don't have a personal chef and you're just having French fries for dinner. You know, there's just so much more to life than all those comforts.
Well, the Apostle Paul said, whatever state I find myself in, there I will be happy. I've known when it is to be at the top and the bottom, whatever state.
And you've probably met people who are just grateful people, and there's such a pleasure to be around them versus those who are just always bitter about life.
All right, good morning to you. 11 past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. And of course, airstrikes continue there in Iran. The United States launched a fresh round of strikes on Iran's military targets yesterday with a focus of, well, basically degrading Iran's ability to attack commercial ships there in the Straits of Hormuz. Most of the sites that were attacked during that 7-hour exchange were military sites, and a lot of them had to do with operations right in the Straits of Hormuz themselves. So the Iranian Guard continues to be weakened by the moment. You kind of wonder what's left of what they do. I mean, they continue to make unbelievable threats, but that's the way they do things. But it looks like that those strikes will continue. The blockade has been reinstituted, and we just have to wait it out and see where it's going to go.
Yeah, and we may be attacking Karg Island.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a threat at this point.
I think it is too. I can't imagine we blow it up because that is the distribution, the most active distribution of actual oil to a ship to get it out. I don't know what that would be.
Right, and then taking it over as the president threatens to do is one thing. What do you do with it when you do it? So it's more than just going and taking over an island from Iran, which is, like you said, a huge distribution point. 90% of oil goes from there. But it is a threat on the table, and in military operations, that's oftentimes carries more weight than an actual military operation.
We'll see. Okay, well, this next story is absolutely amazing. I've never seen this before. Not to say that it hasn't happened, it's just that I haven't seen it at this level. But yesterday, Israel's, I should say, Israel's Knesset paused their proceeding yesterday to honor the late Senator Lindsey Graham. I've never seen this before, but anyway, the Knesset stops. And so here's the president, the Senate president, or what is it? Speaker, excuse me, the Speaker of the Knesset announcing the moment of respect.
In honor of one of the greatest friends the State of Israel has ever had, members of the Knesset from both sides of the aisle will now rise for a moment of silence to pay our respects to the legendary Senator Lindsey Graham. May his memory be a blessing. נכבד את זכרו בקימה. תודה רבה.
Well, pretty stunning.
Yeah, it was like you mentioned, it was a very unusual moment. They've done it for presidents, they've done it for world leaders, but to have the Knesset stop and honor a United States senator was unusual. And of course, Lindsey Graham has been a very staunch supporter of Israel, has fought for aid, for different other policies, and just has made many trips there. So not surprising, Prime Minister Netanyahu said that they are personal friends, and he plans to attend the funeral of Senator Graham.
Yeah, so that's why that's being delayed. I think they're trying to figure out how to get everybody coordinated for that. Well, anyway, one of those rare moments there in the Knesset. The other story is, to follow up from that, who is going to pick up the seat from the late Senator Lindsey Graham. As you know, the governor from South Carolina has already appointed his sister to be the kind of like the placeholder through the election, which will take it into January, which was, I think, a very notable thing to do. But the person who's rising to the top as a potential candidate that will be a part of the upcoming special primary, Republican primary election in South Carolina is Representative Russell Fry. Apparently he is now getting the president's nod as a real possibility. There are other names floating. That's all they are, is floating. They had Trey Gowdy, they had Nikki Haley. They had quite a few people kind of saying that they could get in. So we'll see what happens. Will the president's nod be enough to thin out the pool of potential candidates? They're going to have a special election, primary election for the Republicans August 9th. If there's more than one and one doesn't get 51%, it will go to a runoff a week later. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, Representative Fry is currently serving in the House. So if he's the one taking Senator Graham's position, then this will leave void in the House. So it's kind of a domino effect. So that would be interesting to see who replaces him. He defeated Representative Rice in 2022, and Rice was the one that voted for Trump. So Representative Fry has been a supporter of President Trump, so the endorsement is not an unusual thing to see. But it would be interesting to find out whether that endorsement carries weight these days. And
that's going to be the big one.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big one. Apparently, he's young. He's 41, I think it is. He could
crazy 41.
Yeah.
And you're already in Congress. I mean,
all right,
Vice President.
in the Senate. Okay. Well, listen, the president's been announcing that he's going to make a big speech tonight, and the White House is considering releasing sensitive intelligence information related to China and its ability to interfere with U.S. elections. Is that part of the speech tonight? It appears whatever the speech really is about, it has something to do with elections. And the president is making it, quote, a big deal. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. And here he is talking about the big deal.
Well, I'd rather save it. It will concern that subject, and we'll have a couple of other things to say also. But I'd rather save it, but it's really big news. It's really, really big news. And our country has to shape up. But that's what we're going to be talking about Thursday is it doesn't get bigger, because without free and fair elections, you don't have a country. We'll be discussing other things too, but it's going to be a very big announcement. Yeah.
So it has something to do with elections, and it's really, really big news.
Yes, can't wait.
Yeah, really big news. All right, to your point, he gets an A+ in marketing.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Black Barn Kitchen and Deli is a farm-to-table restaurant located in the historic schoolhouse in Jacksonville. Offering upscale dining and casual fare, enjoy brunch, deli, and dinner, featuring local source ingredients we grow. A warm sense of comfort greets you as you're surrounded by stunning artwork by my wife. We're a community-based business. With every sandwich you purchase, we give one back to our community. It's a feel-good experience. Come visit the Black Barn Kitchen and Deli in Jacksonville.
Your yard is where life happens, but it can be muddy and hard to maintain. Enjoy a maintenance-free artificial turf lawn all year round with Smart Lawn LLC. No mowing, no fertilizing, no watering. Our synthetic grass is beautiful and resilient. It's certified to be lead-free, and there's no need for pesticides. Safe for your children and pets. Smart Lawn LLC has all your artificial turf and putting green areas covered beautifully. 541-941-3538.
What if the school you chose shaped who your child becomes forever? At Rogue Valley Adventist Academy, every lesson begins with purpose. We are a pre-K through 12th grade private school built on one mission: to educate, mold, and inspire service through a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, where students find their voice through music. Build tomorrow's solutions in our makerspace. Compete with heart and integrity on the court, and prepare for real life every single day. RVAA is a safe, student-centered community where every child is known by name, not just a number. From pre-K through 12th grade, your child will be challenged, supported, and loved. Enroll now. Openings are limited. Visit rvaa.us or call 541-773-2988. Rogue Valley Adventist Academy, located in Medford. Join in and stand out.
"20 minutes past the hour on this Thursday morning, better known as Friday Eve. Polina, me, and the cat. Do we have a cat? We don't have a cat around here, do we?
I don't think you would allow one.
No, well, cats are nice. They just belong somewhere else.
Okay.
A dog. We could have a couple of dogs. What's your dog's name?
Apollo.
Apollo.
Yes.
I wonder if Apollo and Piper would get along.
I think there's always a chance.
Yeah.
Always try.
All right, good morning to you. Hey, I want to give you the big fire update. This is really something what's going on here. And again, I've had a week of mistakes.
It's okay. God forgives.
Yeah. I said something. I knew what the right thing to do, but I said the wrong thing. So anyway, I apologize. I take full responsibility for it. But I said level 1 was go. No, level 1 is get ready. So anyway, I was very much reminded of that. So I didn't think I said it until I went back and looked at it. I didn't say that.
Isn't it amazing how...
I didn't say that. I went back and looked at it, and sure enough, I did. So.
But isn't it amazing how that works? And that's kind of true for other things. You don't write a review oftentimes when things are good, but when someone messes up your order, you go and you give them 1 star, and maybe the waiter just had a bad day, and people just... And same here. You make a mistake and you hear from...
Well, there's times I say things and people will write me a letter, "You're really not a Christian." you're really not a conservative. And anyway, I did get quite a response. Anyway, the bottom line is I know that level 1 is kind of like, all right, get ready, be ready. Level 2 is evacuation warning, and then level 3 is go. Anyway, so here's what's happening in our own backyard. The East Evans Creek fire is pushing 8,000 acres. It could be over that, the last report. That picture you see there is something we talked about earlier. And yesterday was a bad day because the wind was just moving this fire all over the place and really activated it. But the heat from the fire on a calm wind can mix with the cooler air and the moisture in there and literally create a cumulus cloud over the top of it. Well, that kind of had a little bit of that yesterday, but mostly the wind just causing all kinds of problems. And the wind just kicked up, and this fire was moving all over the place. We have 5 zones now in the East Evan Creeks area that is go. That's level 3. In the level 2, we have 12 zones, and in level 1, 12 zones. That was of late yesterday evening. They had quite a few aircraft. Right there, that's the 737 flying down over that. We had 3 of the Avro, what they call, it's the British aircraft, four little engine jobs flying around. We had the 737. There were 6 helicopters on it, not to mention the ground crew. There's a picture there of the Eagle Point Middle School. That has now become a shelter for people that need to get out of the area and have no place to go. You can go to the Eagle Point Middle School. Then yesterday, with the wind, we got what they call spot fires, and one took off and started another 1,000-acre fire yesterday. And tracking the helicopter flight patterns and even the aircraft flight patterns, there was a couple of those rounds where they left the main fire and went over and tried to work on the spot fire. Just amazing. That picture there was taken earlier this morning. If you look to the left, you'll see the glow of the fire, and then you'll see how the wind and the air inversion has kept the clouds down on top of the mountains, and actually in some areas gets down into the valley. The core of the valley seems to be open. There's the Electra. That I haven't seen that plane out yet, but the other ones have been flying quite a bit. Those are the little, what they call the Avro, or the actually little British 4-engine job. They really do well. And then over on to the right, you'll see the 737. On the other side of the ramp is the DC-10. All going pretty good last night. So
it's just, it's such a big operation, and in a way very scientific one, where you have to deal with those spot fires that are oftentimes, it can be a mile away from the main fire. Right. Is it going uphill, is it going downhill, how do we secure the lines, do we burn it ahead of time because we know the fire's coming this way, all these things, and then dealing with the wind and the weather and the heat and the aircraft.
It is a lot. It is a lot. The last I heard, they were pushing 1,500 people up there, and a lot of that is support group, but a lot of it's people. And there was one video the other day where they're literally on the fire line, and they're fighting it, and they have their equipment, and the wind changes and almost grabs them. It's very dangerous work.
Well, the Northwest. Our area allows California, Oregon, even Canada to share a lot of the firefighting personnel and equipment. So that's always just so beautiful to see.
It is. There's a lot of coordination going on. We know that there were some structure specialists whose job is to save structures. Some of those teams came down from the Portland area, came down. Other resources have come up from California. Look, this is a big deal. Now, this is the one. Literally, you can walk out our door there and see it. It's right there. But let me give you this: Hopkins Fire, 2,500 acres. Porcupine Fire, 1,000 acres. These are over in Central Oregon. The Cove Creek Fire, 1,000 acres. The Cross White Fire, 1,000 acres. The Lower Dry Creek and the North Cashews Fire, 5,000 each. Okay, that's north of La Grande. The Anthony Fire and the Olive Butte Fire, one is 1,900 acres, the other one was 2,500 acres. That's out by Baker City. Right now, we have close to 30,000 acres burning in the state of Oregon. And you have only so much resources flying around. So once in a while, I have the flight tracker and I'll watch it. A plane literally will take off from here, dump a load, of retardant, come back and refuel, and go to another fire, and come back. So, but last night they had 6 helicopters, they have bulldozers, they have all this stuff going on. It's tough go. So please pray for our people. And going on in the middle of all this is the Jackson County Fair. So if you go to the fair, you can't miss the fire. There it is. All right, one other quick note. I just want to make a motion. I have such high regard for the Salvation Army and what they do. In our own backyard is one of the great chapters, I think, in the country. Major Randy and his wife, Johnette, they just do a wonderful job. Anyway, they've been working hard to open up the Hope House. And the Hope House is a great tool to help people to transition from, a bad life to a good life. And they're going to be dedicating that tomorrow at 10 o'clock there on Cruz Street. So if you're in and around, go out and support them. And I don't know how this works at Salvation Army. It's like $1 in and $10 out. It's kind of like the fish and the loaves and the fishes. It multiplies in their hands. One of the great organizations where the turnaround is amazing. So God bless them.
Amazing. Congratulations on this opening.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Wall Street for a Thursday. Thank you, Preston, over at SmartLawn. He'll help us with this today. He always does. He's a great guy. The Dow's up only 15 points. The Nasdaq's not happy. It's down 28 points. And the S&P's down about 22 points. So I think the uncertainty of the Middle East got people nervous. And what's the president going to say? Look at this. This is pretty amazing. Gold has fallen below 4,000. 39.97. Silver, it's really dropped. 56. And look at crude oil. It's way up, 85. So there you go. That's the effects of what's going on with the war.
Yeah, well, it is very common for someone who leaves an office to write a book. And President Biden is no exception. He just announced that in November is when his memoir will be released. It's called Promise Me America. And not only did he make an announcement, but his team put together this promotional video to let the people know to start pre-ordering it. Here it is.
Since I left the presidency, I've had a lot of people ask me, Joe, what have you been doing? I've been spending a lot of time with my family. I've been dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I've been getting treatment, and it's been going really well. I want to thank all those who offered their prayers, their support, and well wishes. It's meant the world to me and to Jill. I've written a book about my time as president. It's called Promise Me America. It's coming out in November, and it's available for pre-order now. It's about the challenges we faced as a nation, about the decisions I made, and why I made them. Leading the country through COVID, rebuilding our economy, and restoring our democracy after the attack on January 6th. Ending our nation's longest war in Afghanistan, strengthening NATO, and supporting Ukraine. It's about why I chose to run for re-election and why I chose to step aside. Most of all, it's about my faith in the promise of America. The promise we made to those who've gone before us is to honor their sacrifice. The promises we made to one another and to treat everyone with dignity and respect. And the promises we made to future generations of Americans to remain the beacon to the world. Promise Me America is about my faith in America and the American people. I hope you'll read it, and I hope it strengthens your faith in what we can do as a nation and a people.
Very, very interesting that they would do that, put it out. Timing is everything. You and I have done enough television production that there's probably a gazillion takes on that.
You can see that it's...
You can almost see it, and you can almost hear it in some of the audio editing. Look, Joe's been a nice guy, and he served a long time. His presidency, unfortunately, was a failure, but he's certainly entitled to do that. I think this is somewhat of a recovery of his image, while he can still talk, so to speak. I hear zero plans of a library for him. He seemingly can't raise a penny to do it.
Well, you know, it's interesting. The article I read about this book actually talked about the timing being somewhat favorable, that it comes out in November, the book, after the midterm elections, so it will not detract attention from the important stuff. And yet, like, why even do it in the midterm year? Why not wait next year? It almost, if I was a Democrat, I would say that's kind of selfish, Joe, to release a book as a former president and to start this promotional campaign this early. It's almost like he is trying to take attention from something. I don't know. But the timing to me was kind of odd that he would do this year, right now, and start promoting it 5 months before the release.
Well, I think a factor is, and I say this respectfully, it's not a criticism, it's obvious he's in decline. No question about it. So they probably had to get this video out while he was capable of doing it even at that level. So,
and maybe have a couple of events where he presents the book.
Yeah, I just don't know why his family is pushing him out there like this. It's,
well, like you said, this may be a recovery mode where they're trying to recover somewhat of an image in the Biden last name. So, but we have a book figured out for you, right? We figured out the title last hour with the help of AI.
This is amazing. Yeah, because people want me to write a book. Who's going to read it? My family wouldn't even read that book.
Oh, no, we can. I mean,
you guys wouldn't read it.
Yes, we will.
Who's gonna buy it?
People.
Oh yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
Yeah, three people. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Well, anyway, I did ask the AI for a book title for Perry Atkinson if he was to write a book, and this was the answer. He actually gave me a few, and I said, okay, I don't need all these options. Just give me one. And he said, my favorite is More Than a Microphone, because it conveys that the story isn't really about radio or television. It's about the ministry, the people, the challenges, and the faith behind the microphone. It feels like a memoir title rather than a how-to or a devotional. More Than a Microphone by Perry Atkinson. We can put together a nice production video like that. Do little clips of you sitting in the chair talking about your...
You better do it while I can still put two words together. Well, I'm intrigued by that title.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
there's so much going on in this ministry and in the last 40 years that you've been ahead of it, that it's more than just what people see when you're on air.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, well, more than corn fritters. We'll be right back.
How can I grow spiritually? It's one of the most meaningful questions we can ask, and you're not alone in asking it. Over the years, 5 simple but powerful keys have helped countless people deepen their faith. 1, rediscover the Bible. Let God's Word speak to you in new and fresh ways. 2, restart your prayer life. Even small, consistent steps make a big difference. 3, reconnect with God's people. We truly are better together. 4, resist your sinful habits. Grace is always greater, and change is possible. And 5, invest in others. This might just be the most life-giving one of all. God has a place for you to serve in people He's specifically placed in your path. So here's a loving nudge. Don't just sit back and soak up another sermon. Take what you've learned and start living it out. When you pray for and support the Dove, you're stepping into something bigger than you might realize. You become a media missionary right alongside us, carrying hope and encouragement into thousands of homes every single hour, in your own backyard and literally around the world. Your generous support keeps the Dove on the air and actively spreads the gospel far and wide. We are so grateful for every partner who makes that possible. Would you prayerfully consider a special summertime gift today? Summers are always a little challenging for us, and your support would mean a lot. You can give anytime by calling 541-776-5368 or safely and securely at our new website, thedove.us. Thank you so much for your partnership. Together, we really are changing lives for good and pointing people to the Lord every single day.
Welcome back. 23 minutes before the hour. Paulina's here. She's here. She's fascinated with AI.
I am?
Well, you Googled.
Well, I do.
You didn't Google me. You AI'd me.
Well, I asked AI to come up with the title. It is a tool that we can use, and I actually am very tired of AI, and I'm tired of the fact that it's so hard to see a genuine creation anymore, at least on social media. A lot of the posts, a lot of the pictures, a lot of the announcement, you can see when it's AI. Yeah. And I'm so over it. So I try to avoid it at all costs. But it is fun to ask questions or to
it's a tool,
ask for ideas.
But it's erasing authenticity, you know. And if you're a social media jump-arounder through all the various platforms, you don't know what to believe. There's so much AI on there, you know.
Yeah, videos, pictures.
All right, let's check out the latest, what's happening in the Middle East as we check in with CBN News Watch this morning.
For the fifth straight day, U.S. Central Command launched strikes, including rare daytime raids targeting Iranian military infrastructure.
The Islamic Republic of Iran is not happy right now. Should have been done 47 years ago.
The attacks come as the U.S. continues its naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. In turn, Iran's Revolutionary Guard is threatening to block Middle East energy exports, a move that could shake global oil markets. For now, President Trump is reportedly leaning toward expanding U.S. military operations in Iran.
We'll have Iran defeated soon. They'll be defeated very soon.
According to the Wall Street Journal, options under consideration include additional airstrikes, seizing Iranian islands near the strait, and targeting a fortified site suspected of supporting covert nuclear activities.
And they do want to settle. We'll find out whether or not we settle with them or we just finish it off.
At the same time, Vice President J.D. Vance is making it clear what is not on the table when he appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast.
To propose sending in the troops, you're basically saying that the U.S. military should do the job for the Iranian people. We're not in that business anymore.
In Iran, the threat to assassinate Trump is on full display in this new billboard showing the president lying in a casket. Meanwhile, Israel's Knesset paused for a moment of silence Wednesday to honor the late Senator Lindsey Graham, calling him one of the greatest friends Israel has ever had.
May his memory be a blessing.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu canceled the trip to Washington this weekend because Graham's funeral has been postponed until the end of the month. Back in Washington, a growing number of House Democrats are breaking with Israel, backing legislation that would strip U.S. military and humanitarian aid. At the same time, a bipartisan bill is gaining momentum that would permanently dismantle and replace the UN agency UNRWA. CBN News spoke with the United Nations watchdog group, which believes the move is long overdue.
UNRWA exists only to perpetuate war, grievance, and terrorism. They're not there for solutions. They're there to make war. UNRWA has to be dismantled if we want peace with Israel and Palestinians.
UN Watch is also praising a rare United Nations rebuke of Hamas for hijacking humanitarian aid.
They would commandeer the trucks. They would sell it on the market. So this is something we knew, and now even the UN is acknowledging it.
The president also announced overnight that Iran has released an American citizen wrongly detained under the Biden administration.
Let's continue our coverage now with Paul. He is joining us from Jerusalem. So, Paul, people in the United States are very concerned about oil prices shooting up again due to this renewed round of strikes. What did President Donald Trump say about that last night?
Yes, very concerned, Ephraim. President Trump tried to reassure Americans, saying he's not worried about oil prices right now, and he believes Iran will be defeated soon, as you heard. Now, he argued that the administration is watching energy markets very closely. He suggested any disruption would be temporary here. In fact, when speaking last night, Trump said many predicted oil prices at this point would shoot up to as much as $350 a barrel. Recently, it went from about $68 a barrel to around $79. Trump's also repeatedly pointed to America's energy production as a major advantage, saying that the U.S. is in a much stronger position than it was during previous Middle East conflicts. But Ephraim, the biggest concern here remains the Strait of Hormuz. Roughly 20% of the world's oil supply moves through that narrow waterway. So if Iran follows through on its threat to disrupt shipping, well, that's when Americans could begin feeling the pinch at the gas pump again.
And the president is saying the war will end soon, but how else is Iran threatening the United States?
Yeah, lots of threats going around here. That despite those threats of assassination, and you saw that billboard, Iran's biggest threat isn't necessarily a direct attack on the United States. Its ability to create economic chaos by disrupting global oil, energy supplies, and maritime traffic as well. Now, Iran's Revolutionary Guard, they're threatening to block Middle East energy exports and has continued warning countries in the region that supporting the U.S. military is a dangerous move. Now, U.S. intelligence officials are also watching the possibility of any cyber attacks against American infrastructure as well as businesses. Now, Iran has a long history of these types of cyber attack operations against the U.S. as well as Israel. And there's also ongoing concern over Iranian proxy groups. Now, while many have been weakened in recent months, groups across the Middle East, well, they could still target American military personnel and facilities abroad.
I don't know what to say, other than it's happening. So, one day at a time. All right, there we go. Let's check out the weather for you this morning as we head down the road here.
Here's a look at Thursday's weather from Grange Co-op. Across northern Oregon and southern Washington, showers likely before partly sunny skies in Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Through the Willamette Valley, a chance of showers gives way to partial sun in Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs in the mid to upper 70s. Becoming sunny and 79 for Eugene with temperatures in the 50s tonight. Dry in central Oregon with sunshine across the region. Highs reach 90 in Prineville, the mid-80s in Bend and Sun River, while Boise turns much hotter with a chance of thunderstorms before sun and 103. Along the Oregon coast, gradual clearing brings a high of 66 in Coos Bay. Port Orford stays sunny in the mid-60s. Brookings mostly sunny near 55, and Crescent City seeing decreasing clouds and 61. In southern Oregon, sunny weather continues with highs in the mid to upper 80s in Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, and Klamath Falls. Overnight temperatures drop into the 50s with a light northwest wind. Across northern California, sunny in Wairika near 89. Hot conditions maintain in Redding near 100 and Chico 98, while Fort Bragg stays mostly sunny with a high near 59. Sunny weather continues across the Bay Area with highs near 89 in Santa Rosa, 85 in Napa, 70 in San Francisco, and 82 in San Jose, with wind gusts near 20 miles per hour. Across central California, hot sunshine with highs in the mid-90s from Sacramento through Stockton and Modesto. Heat continues through Fresno and Visalia near 101 and Bakersfield around 102. That's a look at today's weather from Grange Co-op.
It is time for Jerry's Historical Archives. Jerry is recovering from his surgery.
His surgery was supposed to be today. It got moved up to yesterday, and he's doing well, and it's quite the day for him. So,
yeah.
We'll
so no historical archives from Jerry today, but I did found this historic moment in our nation's history. Happened on July 16th, 1969. Apollo 11 launched from Kennedy Space Center, carrying Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins on the first mission to land humans on the moon. And we have this clip from CBS News when they were watching it live and somewhat commenting on what was going on.
20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy, it looks good, Wally.
We got a roll program. Somebody must be leaving town.
Building's shaking. We're getting that buffeting we've become used to. Looks like a good trajectory so far, doesn't it, Wally?
Very good, very good. That's
Well, for those of us who...
You remember that day?
Well, I do now. You know, I think there was that time during the Apollo programs where that roar of the engine, that that thing, it kind of reminds you of.
Kind of like that sound you remember from when internet first came into our lives in DSL.
Yeah. All right, well, let's see here. Let's check out Joe Pollack. He joins Fox Business, Varney and Company, and discuss Governor Gavin Newsom's wealth tax proposal that seemingly is kind of blowing up in his face. We'll talk about this. Take a look.
So many billionaires have been leaving the state of California since the billionaire tax was even
There's
proposed.
nobody to tax.
Right, and he needs to keep them in California. So making the billionaire tax nationwide is a way of keeping the billionaires in California, or so he thinks. But there's also something else that has been happening over the last 3 weeks, and that something else is Mamdani and the socialists that he has been pushing successfully in Democratic primary races. That is changing the contours of the presidential primary for Democrats in 2028. And so even though Newsom understands how destructive a wealth tax will be, he has to reposition himself now away from being a kind of pro-business Democrat toward being a more socialist Democrat. And so he is proposing what Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and other left-wing Democrats have been talking about for a while, which is a nationwide wealth tax. It's absurd, it's unconstitutional, but it does help him at least stay closer to the positions Mamdani is imposing on the Democratic Party.
Well, I will say this. When that tax comes, I suspect it will fail miserably in California. But the damage of the proposed tax is there right here, right outside our door in the building right next door. See that building through the window? Right inside that building is the equipment owned by a very wealthy person in California that moved some of his main assets up here to get away from it, because it has a retro kind of a start date to it. And I can't even imagine these guys paying $gazillion dollars in taxes because, anyway, it's just crazy. And if Newsom wants to take it nationwide somehow, that's going to be one of his platform planks for running for president. Hey, have a nice day. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you know who you have on the show tomorrow?
Who?
Bob Just.
Oh, well, there we go.
He's coming in.
We'll be
so
justified
to
tomorrow.
Him. Yeah, but he is our favorite Democrat.
Yeah, confused favorite Democrat.
That votes Republican.
Yeah. No,
I love Bob. No, he's gonna share his experience in D.C. for the 250, but also talk about this whole socialism takeover of the Democratic Party that he's been trying to save for years. The party that is. Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon. Pastor Jack Hibbs, championing religious liberty, a deep love of God, freedom, and America. You may have seen him in the news during COVID as he pushed back against government-mandated church closures. Now you can see him on theDove TV every weekend on Real Life with Jack Hibbs. Learn, grow in your faith, and impact the world with authentic biblical teaching. Watch Real Life with Jack Hibbs Sundays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on theDove TV.
All right, welcome back. I had Dennis Neal on. Now, Dennis is kind of an interesting guy. Thank you, Polina, for getting me him. He was a kind of a lead journalist at one time for Forbes. He writes all over the place. But he wrote a book called Oregoners. He took on our state and talked about how many people in Oregon are leaving.
It's pretty bad when someone uses your state as an example to write a book about bad policies.
There's a flyer out now, 5 reasons why not to move to Oregon, if you can imagine that. Now I would imagine that that could be coming from the Christine Drazen camp. But anyway, we talked about a lot of things, and he thought it was about inflation, what's happening with inflation now, and here's what he had to say.
Way down. I mean, an amazing thing happened this week. Inflation report came in. All the economists were wrong. Literally 95% of the economists in their projection of what the rate would be were way too high. And prices fell from the month before, and it ended up being a 3% inflation rate. That's a really good sign, and it's because of falling gas prices. Now, oil prices went back up on renewed hostilities. But the more renewed hostilities there are, the more we are taking out Iran's strength and ability to respond. I'm in favor of it. Iran government deserves it and has earned it. And only one president out of the last 7 has ever done anything about it. And that's President Trump. And so we can definitely turn for the better. The stock, here's a weird dichotomy. The stock market keeps hitting all-time highs. Consumer sentiment measured by the University of Michigan Sentiment Index is at all-time lows.
Yeah.
How can that be? How can consumers be so wrong? And the answer, and there was a story in the Wall Street Journal this week by Justin Lahart, a great economics reporter, and asking, is the University of Michigan survey flawed? And of course, it's fatally flawed. I did an op-ed April of last year on this and interviewed the director of the survey. And even she admitted that people's political biases, how much they hate Trump, are affecting what they say about how they feel about the economy. And, Wall Street has its contingent of liberals there, hedge funds, et cetera, who hate Trump. And they're way behind in their returns because they thought he was going to ruin the economy with tariffs, and they were all wrong. And, the S&P 500, big broad index, went up 16% in only 2 months recently, and it's the first time that's happened in decades. Yeah. So things are so good, but people are letting their hatred of Trump and their blinded and brainwashed condition caused by most members of the media get in the way of their spending and investing decisions, and it's too bad.
Yeah. The one thing that we can't shake right now, high gas prices are back, and I understand that. Do we understand that it's temporary? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But all the economic indicators are all-time high across the board. All right, take with you Hebrews 4:16 today. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace. Why? That we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in the time of need. What a very strong statement for you today. Be careful out there. It's really dry, a little cooler, which we welcome, and pray for our firefighters. We need to get this fire out. Mm-hmm.
I'll trade the troubles of this world for your peace inside my soul. I will cast my cares on you. You're the anchor of my hope.
Do events in the world leave you confused?
Mornings on the Dove knows how you feel. We're here to offer God's hope and encouragement and to help you to sort it all out. In this upside-down world, get it straight.
Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? When you want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life, call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
We are moving.
We are so excited to share that Habitat for Humanity Rogue Valley's administrative office and our restore will soon be moving down the road to our new location at 2655 South Pacific Highway.
This move is really about making sure we will be able to continue serving families in Jackson County for years to come. Right now, we're building 16 homes in Jackson County, 12 right here in Medford, and finishing 4 in Ashland. Our mission is not changing. We're still building homes, building hope, and partnering with families right here in Jackson County.
The Restore is getting a new home, but we're still the same Restore you know and love. We'll still be accepting donations, offering great deals, and keeping usable items out of the landfill and raising funds to support Habitat's mission. We are so grateful for everyone who has supported Habitat and the Restore over the years. This move allows us to keep growing, keep serving, and keep building a stronger future.
Same mission,
same highway,
new home.
We can't wait to see you there.
The world has a view, but God has the vision. That's what sets the Vision TV show apart. The Vision is an inspirational talk show that elevates voices of faith through powerful conversations, highlighting changemakers making a difference, blending heartfelt storytelling with practical insight, encouraging viewers to live life with clarity, compassion, and vision. Join Elvita King and friends for The Vision, Tuesdays right here on theDove TV. Unchanging truth in an ever-changing world. Turning Point with Dr. David Jeremiah. Wednesdays on theDove TV. Encouraging and informative.
The Dove. Encouraging and informative. On television, radio, online, and streaming.
Wake up to what's going on with Mornings on the Dove. Weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m.
For in-depth conversation of world, national happenings, and events affecting faith, watch Focus Today, weekday mornings.
The Dove TV covers Oregon, from stations in Albany, Bend, Dallas, Medford, Portland, Salem, and Tillamook.
Watch The Dove on Apple TV, Roku TV, and the Fire TV app. Download from the App Store and Google Play.
Women. Discover God's purpose for every season of your life with Melinda Robertson on Season to Shine, afternoons at 4.
Be inspired by God using people and ministries on the move with Ryan Robertson, Tuesday and Thursdays at 4.
Watch, listen, and stream The Dove anywhere around the world with theDove.u.
Hi, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and always a delight and honor when we have time to sit down with a guy that never sleeps. His name is Troy Miller. He is the CEO of the National Religious Broadcasters, a colleague, a friend, and I think high regard for all of his work. Hours and hours he puts into our industry. And he's also a globetrotter, so to speak. He keeps his finger on everything that's going on around the world. You can go to nrb.org. And if you're in any level of media at your church or your organization, this is the organization you need to belong to. NRB, National Religious Broadcasters.org. Publishers, podcasters, television, radio, church media, whatever you do, this is the organization, nrb.org. Brother Troy, are you awake? There he is. Well, listen, we'll call back. Shh. Hold on. We'll call back in just a moment. We don't want to wake him up. Somebody put a cup of coffee underneath him. Do we have audio with him? Do we have audio? I don't know. Okay, I thought that was a gig. It's not. It's true. We have. We'll get after them. By the way, just to kind of give you a little prelude here, he has recently returned from Israel, and we'll talk to him about his trip there. Of course, being in the middle of all that, Troy is just an amazing guy. I will say this, under his leadership, the NRB is at an all-time active organization, all-time high in its membership, and global in its reach, impacting just every continent, every country around the world with Christian broadcasting, Christian media. So he does a great job. Did you guys get connected with him? Were we there? Do we have Troy? Somebody talk to me here. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let me just go back to one other thing, though I will, while they're making a connection there. I was trying to think the other day. I think it was 1985, if I remember right. It could have been 84. When I attended my first NRB convention, been a member ever since, and believe in what they do. They're our advocate in so many ways. And I have to tell you, of all the media things that are out there, all of the media things that are out there, only broadcast is regulated. And we're regulated by the FCC. And the NRB plays a huge role in seeing that our rights are protected. In fact, the reason the NRB came into existence back in the 40s was because Christian radio was under attack. We formed the organization to protect our right to be on the air. So, great organization, nrb.org. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll have an uninterrupted time with Troy. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Dove, encouraging and informative on television, radio, online, and streaming.
Wake up to what's going on with Mornings on the Dove, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m.
For in-depth conversation of world, national happenings, and events affecting faith, watch Focus Today, weekday mornings.
The Dove TV covers Oregon, from stations in Albany, Bend, Dallas, Medford, Portland, Salem, and Tillamook.
Watch The Dove on Apple TV, Roku TV, and the Fire TV app. Download from the App Store and Google Play.
Women. Discover God's purpose for every season of your life with Melinda Robertson on Season to Shine, afternoons at 4.
Be inspired by God using people and ministries on the move with Ryan Robertson, Tuesday and Thursdays at 4.
Watch, listen, and stream The Dove anywhere around the world with theDove.us, your online connection to The Dove.
Watch The Dove in Central California over these Dove Network stations and cable outlets in Fresno, Visalia, Bakersfield, and Tulare.
The beauty and depth of the ancient Orthodox Church and its place in the modern world. Sundays at 6 on the Dove TV.
Bring powerful, God-centered content with you anywhere you go with the Dove app. Download at theDove.us.
Tell your friends and family. In Idaho, you can see the Dove TV in the Gem State over KTVJ Channel 3, a Dove TV affiliate in Boise.
Listen to Bible teaching, music, and information over these Dove radio stations in Southern and Central Oregon and Northern California.
Watch, listen, read. The Dove, encouraging and informative on television, radio, streaming, and reading.
You can watch the Dove TV in the San Francisco Bay Area, Santa Rosa, and Monterey over these Dove TV affiliates and cable outlets. Spread the word. Tell your family and friends they can see the Dove TV in Northern California.
Stay connected with the Studio Insider, your complimentary magazine with everything happening at the Dove. Get yours today at thedove.us.
The Dove is seen in the state of Washington on KWVT TV, channels 17 and 27 in Longview.
The Dove, seen in Northern California. Over these Dove TV affiliates in Redding, Chico, Fort Bragg, Colusa, and Yuba City.
The Dove, encouraging and informative on TV, radio, and online at thedove.us.
Get daily encouragement with the Word for You Today devotional. Get yours at thedove.us/read.
Watch The Dove in the Sacramento area over KYUB Channel 15, KRJR Channel 44.4, DirecTV, Dish TV, and cable.
Wake up to what's going on with Mornings on the Dove, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m.
For in-depth conversation of world, national happenings, and events affecting faith, watch Focus Today, weekday mornings.
Watch the Dove in the Silver State, seen in Nevada on KLVG Channel 6 in Las Vegas. Women, discover God's purpose for every season of your life with Melinda Robertson on Season to Shine, afternoons at 4.
Be inspired by God using people and ministries on the move with Ryan Robertson, Tuesday and Thursdays at 4.
Watch, listen, and stream The Dove anywhere around the world.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. And of course, what is going on with the subject of abortion in the United States since it's been 4 years since the Roe versus Wade overturned in the U.S. Supreme Court, monumental decision? I'm so delighted to have back with us today Danielle Peitzer, Director of the Sanctity of Human Life for Focus on the Family. And let me just say, we've been carrying Focus on the Family on the Dove radio for 43 years. So we're honored to be partners with them. You can go to focusonthefamily.com is the website. There's a picture of that landing page. Danielle, good to see you. How are you?
Thank you. Good to see you, Perry.
Thank you for your time.
Good. Thank you.
So give us a quick update. A monumental decision, Roe versus Wade, gets overturned by the Supreme Court, heads back to the state. We see numbers going in various directions. What's your take?
Yeah, we do see abortions increasing according to the data. Telehealth has made it a lot easier. The abortion pill has made it a lot easier for women to get abortion pills. But I would say, don't forget that Roe v. Wade was overturned and that several states have extended their care for women. They have more Medicaid provided. They're giving them more resources. And so there is also things to celebrate.
Okay. How bad is the pill issue?
Well, Perry, you're right. It is pretty bad. What we are seeing from insurance claims is that 11%, 1 in 10 women will experience a serious adverse situation where they have sepsis or hemorrhaging and they need an emergency care situation. So that is terrible. And then we also are seeing that women psychologically are not prepared to handle the pain, but also seeing their child. And so it's not being reported very much, but the pill is really bad news.
Is there still, Danielle, any policing going on with the pill being exchanged between states?
Not yet. I am hoping that they will get that settled. I know Senator Josh Hawley has done a lot of work, and states like Louisiana are trying to get that shut down. But right now, unfortunately, pills can be mailed into states that have abortion restrictions.
Do we understand the violation of this? I mean, it not only is the taking of human life, but the violation of just normal medical ethics of giving a pill. I don't know how this ever got through the FDA. Maybe you can explain that. It's now being used. I mean, you can get it almost for no reason at all, send it to somebody else. I mean, this thing is really out of control, and it is really bad. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be objective here. I mean, that seems to be the new battleground.
Yes, you are correct, Perry. It is the new battleground. And it's just, baffling that something like this that hurts women could be so prolific. I mean, we're seeing stories of men who didn't want their girlfriend to be pregnant, ordering the pill themselves, using a fake name, and putting the pill in her drink. And so it's just out of control, sending to states that don't want abortions. It is very concerning.
All right, so where do we go? How do we fight this? What are you guys working on?
Well, that is a great question, Perry. There's a lot of things that we can do and are doing. So one, we obviously know legislation. There's several fronts trying to work on getting the pill banned. We hopefully will see some sort of FDA Results this month or soon showing that the abortion pill should be prescribed by a doctor and not just through the mail. But I think also what's the most important thing is that we need to reach hearts. And so we want to walk alongside these women who are in this unplanned pregnancy, who are feeling like they don't have any support. So the stuff that you and me can do is be involved. Start volunteering at your local pregnancy center. Women have said, 60 to 70% of women have said that if they had one person walking with them that's saying, hey, I know this seems scary, but we can do this together. I've got your back. That if they had that one person with them, they would consider parenting or making an adoption plan. And so that's what we want to do as the church, is be there, be that one person, and support women and help them see the value of life. Most women don't want an abortion. They just feel like this is the only option for them.
Okay, you make a great point here, and that's underscoring the impact, the importance, and really the hard work of these pregnancy care centers around the country. I know there's a lot of pregnancy organizations that are trying to continue the work through legislative processes. That's almost like hitting a brick wall these days since Roe versus Wade been pushed back to the states. So that has a lot to do with the state that you live in. But more importantly, do we understand the value and the importance of these pregnancy centers?
In the work that I do, I love the pregnancy centers. I see them on the front line, and they are amazing. They are the hands and feet of Jesus. I don't know if everybody knows how good these places are. So yes, Option Line is a way to find a local pregnancy center in your area. And what they do is amazing. They walk alongside women, usually for 2 years if they decide to parent. They help them with adoptions. They also help them with resources, diapers, food, tangible resources. Sometimes they know of scholarships and different organizations that will help them out too. So I don't know, they probably are our best kept secret. And everybody should be looking to their pregnancy center and connecting their pregnancy center with a church. Because there's dynamic work happening in both places, and we get connected, and you know, it's unstoppable because God's with it.
There was a time early on during this fight, while Roe versus Wade was still in effect, that there was emphasis put on the post-abortion syndrome.
The Black Barn Kitchen and Deli is a farm-to-table restaurant located in the historic schoolhouse in Jacksonville. Offering upscale dining and casual fare. Enjoy brunch, deli, and dinner, featuring local source ingredients we grow. A warm sense of comfort greets you as you're surrounded by stunning artwork by my wife. We're a community-based business. With every sandwich you purchase, we give one back to our community. It's a feel-good experience. Come visit the Black Barn Kitchen and Deli in Jacksonville.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
What if the school you chose shaped who your child becomes forever? At Rogue Valley Adventist Academy, every lesson begins with purpose. We are a pre-K through 12th grade private school built on one mission: to educate, mold, and inspire service through a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, where students find their voice through music, build tomorrow's solutions in our makerspace, compete with heart and integrity on the court, and prepare for real life every single day. RVAA is a safe, student-centered community where every child is known by name, not just a number. From pre-K through 12th grade, your child will be challenged, supported, and loved. Enroll now. Openings are limited. Visit rvaa.us or call 541-773-2988. Rogue Valley Adventist Academy, located in Medford. Join in and stand out.
Well, welcome back. You got to love live programming. Yeah, sorry about all that. Technical things being what they are, always a challenge, but also always a joy to have with us Troy Miller, even though if we get him for about 8 minutes. I honor that deeply and always look forward to talking to him. He's the CEO of the National Religious Broadcasters, a man I have high regard for, colleague and a fellow frontline fighter. You can go to nrb.org is the website, and that is the landing page, and that's the place to go. If you have anything to do with Christian communication, whether it's radio, TV, podcasts, songwriting, film, whatever, church ministries, whatever, join the NRB. Troy, are you there? There you are.
You and I have been around a long time with this, but look, I've been reassured once again, technology's not going to take over the world anytime soon.
I owe you a big hamburger when next time I see you. Hey, we even still got some audio challenges, but we're going to go for it. You just got back from Israel. What happened over there? What were you doing?
I did. It was a great trip over there. I spoke at a couple of conferences, the ICEJ's Jerusalem conference, and then the Jewish News Circuit, their policy conference as well. So it was, both of those were really good, talking about Judeo-Christian relations, Christian support for Israel, and really talking a lot about the messaging war that's going on, the propaganda war on the internet. You know, there's so much misinformation out there and just chaos being sown in all of this. So it was a great trip.
I'm assuming, Troy, this is a big assumption on my part, if it really wasn't for Christian media in America telling the story straight, the truth about Israel just wouldn't get out. Okay, we lost your audio. We're losing it.
We would lose this for sure. We've been the stalwarts on this issue in particular, but also so many other issues. You know, one of the things we talked about was global Christian persecution as well while I was there, and the Israelis are very concerned about that and very supportive for what's going on around the world. But mainstream media doesn't cover Israel, and it doesn't cover Christian persecution correct. And if they do, it's usually, it's all propaganda.
I want to swing your attention over to some industry news. The FCC chairman is now come out with an article yesterday. You probably saw it, that they're leaning now towards lifting the ownership cap. I want to say to you and your team, thanks for working hard. I don't know, do we have a chance to stop this, or is it pretty much a done deal?
No, I think there's a chance to stop this. Here's, Perry, my insider view of what's going on here is I think the chairman understands, look, the mergers that are going on and that the Bureau, the Media Bureau, approved without a vote of the commission, those are going to be locked into court for the next year, maybe year and a half or so to decide this issue. And I think the chairman knows that this issue is going to go to court. I think this vote is all about pushing this in to see where the courts are going to end up. And I think the law is on our side. I think Congress made it clear. Congress is the only one that can has the authority to change those quotas. And so I think the court's going to find that way.
That's why I encourage people to join this organization. Thank you. Thank you. I want to come back to another part of what we do as communicators, and it's kind of an interesting thing that wrestle in our mind. While we are having all these tools in our hands, radio, television, podcast, digital, you know the drill, and yet church and our culture, biblical literacy is at an all-time low. Whoa! What do we do here, Coach?
Well, first of all, we prioritize it, Perry. You know, Christian media, and again, if it wasn't for Christian media, the biblical literacy wouldn't exist. I think our teachers, our Bible teachers that we have, focus on the Bible, but really we need more pastors across the country. So I'm giving a passionate plea here to pastors to make biblical literacy top priority in your church. If the church is making a priority, parishioners will make it a priority, and then we'll have disciples across this country that understand their Christian worldview and not just a bunch of fans of Christianity.
Troy, you're there in the heat of the action. We just came through our 250th celebration as a nation, an amazing time in our nation's history. What do you think is ahead for us?
Well, look, I think the last issue of biblical literacy and our country's history are tied together. The average citizen in 1776 would be a biblical scholar today because they studied the Bible and then they lived that out. And if we get back to those roots, I think God's not done with America. I think America has a bright future, and it can be that city on the hill. It can be that light, that beacon for people to look at. The American way, the American dream has always been a draw. Look, we have the big soccer match going on, the World. And by far, the people that have attended it have went back home saying, we loved America. It's not the America that we hear in the mainstream media around the world. American people are great. The American way is great. And that's the future. But that future is founded on Judeo-Christian values, and it is founded upon our love for God and our understanding of the gospel.
You have described today's culture conflict clash of worldviews than just political differences. You want to put a little meat on those bones?
Yeah, look, it's again ties together. This country was founded on Christian worldviews, Christian principles found in what we call the Jewish scriptures, the Old Testament and the New Testament. And that formed the foundation for Western civilization, belief in God, the understanding that the family is the most important institute that any country has, the right to own property, the right for freedom of conscience, freedom of all of those were based on and started with the acknowledgement that we are individuals created in the image of God. We have a creator. On the other side, you have this progressive, secular, humanist view, which has now gone more socialist and is moving to communist, which is just simply socialism under a dictator. That's the clash. So are we going to honor God, respect what God has set up as the foundations, or are we going to try to follow the way of man? You know, Proverbs 16:25 says there's a way that seems right to man, but in the end it leads to death. And that's the clash of worldviews we're having, Perry.
Yeah. Troy, I want to respect your time. Thank you. I'm so sorry for the confusion today, but let me say to our viewers and listeners, the National Religious Broadcasters is the organization that you need to belong to no matter what you're doing in the way of Christian communication, whether it's music, books, film, radio, TV. And I have to say to all churches which have probably a media department today at some level, whether it's podcasting or even if you're promoting yourselves through digital media, you need to belong to the NRB. Go to the nrb.org, sign up, become a member. You're not a member of a club. You're joining a family, and a family that's there to protect you and to help you and to keep you going. Thank you, Troy. Sorry for the problems today. Again, burger on me, buddy.
See you.
All right, see you.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Lizer with Lizer Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
The Dove TV is pleased to announce we're now seen in the Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto area via a new full-power TV station, KEDS, seen on cable, satellite TV, and over the air. The Dove TV, encouraging and informative for the Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto area on new full-power KEDS TV. In a time when our culture faces unprecedented challenges.
I want to talk about the role of a Christian, even in a hostile culture.
Christian apologist and evangelist Alex McFarland addresses the hard-hitting questions about faith, morality, and culture.
People are hungry for truth. And we've got to rise to the challenge of our assignment as the church.
Know your faith better to be equipped to defend it in a world searching for answers.
But when you put the face of an earthly man on God, then you're never going to understand who God is.
God takes pleasure in you, and the very sight of you is joy and blessing.
Alex McFarland, inspiring believers through apologetics to boldly stand for truth in a critical time. Catch him Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative. More at theDove.us.
Okay, welcome back. Wanted to take a few moments today to give you a ministry update and to say to you again, thank you for your continued support of this ministry. If you're on our mailing list, you got our summertime letter that came out a couple of days ago. I do want to talk about that and just to also let you know that the Dove is involved in so many little things behind the scenes that it's just amazing. And we did send out a letter to ask you for some assistance in helping us kind of finish another project that we've been involved in. We spent most of last year developing this side of the building and redoing the television studio and equipment. The technology is constantly changing. And if you don't stay up with it, you can just get run over. And you've helped us do that. And I want to say thank you. We don't take any of that lightly. And if you're ever in town, come by and take a look. But these are all tools to do what God called us to do. And you helped us with that. Well, at that, it like anything else, they always go over budget and difficult to manage. But we're now in the process of taking our radio studio and putting it back together. It kind of temporarily got stuck up in a room, the radio command. We broadcast on about 14 different frequencies out there that covers most of Oregon. And so we're now going to put that back together where it should be, and we're including in the middle of that a podcast studio, but we're also having to upgrade equipment. So that's what this letter's all about. Our goal for that ended up coming in at just a little under $20,000. It's $19,495 to help us with that. And so we're asking you to prayerfully consider supporting the Dove. Our motto is the one that we feel the Lord has us to say, and that is, we're not here to replace your church, and we're not here to take away from any other ministry. Our job is to spread the gospel through media and to support other ministries to do what God's called them to do. So don't take from your church or any ministry that you're involved in, but if the Lord leads you to help us with this project, you can call anytime at 541-776-5368. Or you can safely and securely go online now at our new website. That's one thing I want to update you with. We finally redid our website and brought it up. We had to completely redo the infrastructure of the website to get it up to where it could be used more resourcefully, and not only making it, I would say, customer friendly, where you can go there, you can watch any of the interviews, you can stream the TV, you can stream the radio. You can leave us your prayer requests. I mean, it's very, very resourceful and very easy to use. And that's at theDove.us. And you can support the Dove through there. And you can get a copy of the Word for You Today. You can fill out that. We'll send one to you. And all that information is certainly kept private. But you can go to theDove.us. You can support us there safely and securely at theDove.us. Or you can call at 541-776-5368. So to kind of give you a little bit of an update of what we're doing and kind of help you to understand, the Dove is reaching a huge audience, but we don't own all the stations that we're on. We work with a great ministry out of California called One Ministries, and they have quite a few of the television stations that we're on. Most of them in California they own, but they use the Dove's programming as their main source of programming, and that's got us down through the Bay Area. We got down to, let's see here, all the way down through the Central Valley. on a variety of new stations that came on, Sacramento, down around Lodi, Stockton, all the way into Visalia, Fresno to Bakersfield, which is huge. The footprint of the Dove TV now, population-wise, is a little over 17 million people. We're on in Las Vegas, we're up in Idaho, we're in Oregon. So God is using the Dove, and we own a few of those stations. We don't own them all by any means. But something came across my day yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out how I can explain this because I really can't talk about it yet. But we had a real challenge hit us yesterday in the middle of all of this concerning some of the stations that we're on. And I'm still processing that through my brain. Let me just say this, that your support for the Dove is needed. We're trying our best to manage what we have and to make it spread further. And we have had a lot of people contact us over the years wanting the Dove programming here and there. A lot of opportunities out there, but our budget restraints doesn't allow us to go that way. I just made a deal with this particular program is now on the National Religious Broadcaster, NRB TV, on their satellite channel. And we're trying to negotiate a better release time. So we're working on that. Look, it's not about bigness. It's not about... you get so tied up in the minutia of business that you just kind of go, oh, man. It's not about that. It's about getting the gospel out. And we try hard to bring you new programs. We're negotiating with some other communicators. I'm hoping that we can announce in the very near future 3 other new programs that we're working on bringing on people that you would highly respect. You probably already know. We just landed Jack Hibbs. In fact, met Pastor Hibbs and his team. Great group of people. And they said, well, why haven't we been on you guys sooner? And I said, I don't know. So we made a deal, and that you can see Jack Hibbs on the Dove TV on Sundays, and you can hear him on the radio on Sundays. It's a half-hour program. He does a great job. He's an amazing communicator. And we're talking to 3 other people. And all this just takes time and effort. But folks, it's not about bigness. It's just about faithfulness and obedience and the clarity of the message. We work hard to make sure that the gospel is going out, and God uses all of our programmers, all of the music, both on radio and television, uses everything that we produce to reach people with life-changing messages of having an authentic, real relationship with Christ. And so when you support the Dove, you're helping us do that. And this has been a tough year. I don't mind telling you that. I just say that it is. But we're not alone. I would say that most nonprofit organizations this year have found an amazing time of challenge. And it has to do with the economy. I'm not blaming the economy. It's just that the economy does have an impact on how people, support ministries outside of their own personal needs. Gas prices did take an impact. But moreover, our industry's changing too, and I'm trying to be sensitive to that. I mean, things are changing. People are watching more and more online through streaming. People are watching more and more online through our app. In fact, we just redid our app. Download the Dove app. You can get it Apple and Android and download it, and you can watch, listen, right there on your phone. A lot of people do that. And we just upgraded some of our ability to use digital cross-programming, or promotion, I should say. All this is kind of working together behind the scenes. But the one project that's in front of us is this one, and hopefully we can get this done and completed and get the radio settled back down. It kind of got pushed aside a little bit during this remodel of this part of it. And radio is a huge part of what we do. In fact, it's still it's just amazing. People say, oh, radio's old. No, it's not. You'd be surprised how many people are still using radio, and especially streaming it. And so what technologies have done is given us the ability to use the element of broadcasting in another way. You can use it on your phone, and you can use it in your computer, and you can streamline anything. You can go to your smart TV, you can go to Roku, you can go to Apple, you can go to Fire TV. You can stream the Dove live there. So it's happening, and people are really having their lives changed. So prayerfully consider helping us, 541-776-5368. Or you can go online at theDove.us. There's the picture of the landing page. Our website's really fun to go to. I mean, there's just a lot going on there. So you can watch any of the interviews that we've done. You can take a look at some of the programs that we produce. And we have opportunity to produce more, but all of this is done with budget restraints, so we just do the best with what we have. But I want to say thank you for your faithfulness. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be on the air. It's pretty simple. Still, over 80% of the Dove's revenue comes from viewers and listeners like you, so prayerfully consider it and only do what the Lord's leading you to do. Again, anytime, 541-776-5368, or safely and securely online at our brand new website at theDove.us, or you can go to the app. The app's totally safe as well. You can support the Dove through the Dove app as well. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
When life feels heavy, your body feels it, your mind feels it. That is why I created Organic Elements Wellness Spa, a place where wellness is not a luxury, it's a way of life. Step into our wellness lounge with a Himalayan salt room, infrared sauna, steam room, and invigorating cold plunge. Restore your nervous system, detox your body, and clear your mind. Then experience customized massage, advanced skin therapies, and result-driven facials, all designed to help you look as good as you feel. There's nothing else like this in Southern Oregon. This is your space to heal, to reset, to glow. Call today to book your private wellness party for up to 15 guests or surprise someone special with a gift certificate.
Visit Organic Elements Wellness Spa on East Main Street in Medford. Book online at organicelementspa.com. Wellness is wholeness. Voted best of Southern Oregon.
He's got the whole world in his hands, and he knows the plans for us. Above and beyond we could ask or imagine. His grace is more than enough. It's in his hands. It's in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Come on, Steve.
Pastor Jack Hibbs, championing religious liberty, a deep love of God, freedom, and America. You may have seen him in the news during COVID as he pushed back against government-mandated church closures. Now you can see him on the Dove TV every weekend on Real Life with Jack Hibbs. Learn, grow in your faith, and impact the world with authentic biblical teaching. Watch Real Life with Jack Hibbs Sundays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on the Dove TV.
Okay, welcome back. Well, it's been a while, and quite frankly, too long, but always a joy when we have time to sit down with the man, the legend, in his own mind, but he's still a nice guy. Renard Jackson's with us. He's the president and the CEO of Renard Jackson and Associates. He has a website, renardjackson.com, and I see him all over the place doing his job and his passion. He's called of God to do what he does. Brother Renard, good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Very good to see you, my friend. Always glad to do your show.
You're the guy. You're the guy. All right, where are you these days? Where are we talking to you from?
I'm in D.C. today, so you got good timing because I've been all over the country, to the Midwest, to the upper Northwest, and upper Midwest, and so I'm at home today.
All right, good to see you. Thank you, brother. A couple of weeks ago, you wrote, quote, "The black community is a soap opera." Only you could come up with that one. Tell us what's on your mind here, bro.
Yeah, Perry, I tell you, black folks, we are our own worst enemies. We sit up here and allow these liberals to make their agenda our agenda, and there's a big schism. If you look at what I call media appointed black leaders, the head of the NAACP, the Urban League, Congressional Black Caucus, their leadership is so out of touch and out of tune with the rank and file in the black community. Perry, and you and I have been talking about this forever. And they, meaning the rank and file in the black community, are fed up with these liberal policies coming out of the Democratic Party, but yet they don't feel like the Republican Party welcomes them. So therefore, they're in the political twilight zone. And if we Republicans and conservatives were to ever actively, aggressively reach out into the black community, especially the black entrepreneur, we would totally transform the voting habits of the black community for a generation.
All right, so you've opened Pandora's box here. Let me ask you, number one, the group, the black community that has left the Democratic Party and hasn't gone to the Republican Party, do they lean right or left?
Well, I mean, listen, Perry, it's an interesting question. Rush Limbaugh and I used to have this conversation all the time, and he would always tell me, Jack, you just have to make us feel like you want us in the movement with you.
Okay.
Because we're going to be conservative with or without you, but I much prefer us be conservative within the confines of this movement that we're building.
That's a beautiful answer. Beautiful answer, Renard. So let me ask you this. Why do you think, why has then the black conservative allowed their image to be hijacked by the liberals?
Well, see, Perry, that's where I would disagree with you. It's not that we have allowed our conservative value to be hijacked. Perry, short of people like you, show me a media outlet that actively and aggressively promotes black conservatives who are doing things the right way, get married before they have kids, take care of the family unit, the head of the household. Perry, and you know, my biggest criticism of the White House is I don't want to see another rapper or athlete standing next to the president. When are you going to show the black businessmen standing next to the president and conservative leaders? They are the gateway into the black community, not an athlete or a rapper with gold teeth in his mouth, or someone like Nicki Minaj, who her lyrics are some of the most filthy lyrics you'll ever hear in music, Perry. That's not the image that we want promoted in the black community. But yet, conservatives seem to go after the shining toy under the Christmas tree. And guess what? When you give a kid a toy on Christmas Day, a couple of weeks, Perry, you know the kid is bored with the toy and he's looking for another shiny object to play with.
Gosh, you're on fire today. Okay, let me come to the black church just for a moment. I have enjoyed through the years, in fact, I just had one on yesterday. I have enjoyed through the years interviewing black pastors. I just love it. Primarily, they're so on fire for the gospel. They have a way of communicating unlike anybody. I mean, it's just wonderful. And they're certainly espousing everything you've just mentioned. There's no question about it. But does it translate into votes?
Yes and no. Yes, on a local level, Perry. But again, you're talking to someone who makes his living off of communication and crisis management. The people you're interviewing, Perry, I don't know who they are, but I guarantee you they have never stood side to side with the Speaker of the House, who every time he opens his mouth, he's quoting the scripture while he's promoting liberal policies through the Congress. When are these preachers that you're interviewing, Perry, being given a platform at the highest level? So, because again, in communication, Perry, it's kind of like what I call the EEM theory. What the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. We don't see conservative blacks like you're talking about, Perry. We don't hear conservative blacks like you're talking about. Therefore, the mind can't believe that conservatives want blacks like these involved in the party, because where do you... Perry, for example, I'm on the board of directors of Mount Vernon, George Washington's home. The governor of Virginia, the former governor, Glenn Youngkin, appointed me there. I've been on the board for 3 years now. We had this massive celebration last week with the Heritage Foundation, several hundred people. Perry, that couldn't have been more than 5 to 10 black folks there. and not one black person touched the microphone, meaning was a part of the official program. I ended up being so frustrated, Perry, that I ended up leaving early simply because, and again, this doesn't mean these are racist folk, but Perry, they just don't think about what you and I are talking about when they're planning these magnificent programs. At this event, Perry, America 250, you would have thought America was back 250 years ago because there was absolutely no diversity at this event whatsoever, zero. And the mere fact that they did not even notice that, that's more alarming to me than if they did notice that, but just didn't give a darn about it. That they are the more dangerous person.
You make a good argument here, brother. Let me ask you one other quick question. Do you think that President Trump has lost the black voter?
Well, Perry, that's a great question. And my answer is, and I'm having conversations at the highest levels of the White House on this very issue as we speak today. Perry, again, Trump has done a great thing on policy that's appealing to the black community. But the way they talk about this issue of race and DEI is off-putting even to me. And I make this known to the highest level of the White House and our congressional leadership. I'm a part of the team. I'm considered an insider, Perry, and I cringe at the way I'm hearing them talk about DEI and things like that. But yet, at the same time, don't tell me what you're against, Perry, unless you're willing to tell me also what you're for. And again, what the eyes see and the ears hear, the mind believes. When are we going to see with the eyes diversity with our Republican leadership? When are we going to hear the rhetoric of inclusiveness with the black community so that our minds can believe that you as a movement want us actively involved, not as a token, not as a diversity pick, but again, where are the leadership in the conservative movement in the black community? Where are they? They, for the most part, they don't exist. And where they do exist, Perry, when is this party, when is this conservative movement, even in the religious circle, when are they going to highlight and showcase and give a bigger platform to these folks who've been in the trenches, who are on our side, but they don't have the platform Al Sharpton has on MSNBC. They don't have the platform, the NAACP and the Urban League. We have to create that exposure for them, and we're not doing it, and we never have in my years in this party.
So, I know your passion is for the black entrepreneur, and I totally get it, and I applaud it. A couple questions
in the Senate, and I, in my view, and rightfully so.
So, why isn't the black voter motivated today to get involved in the midterm? I mean, I understand the issue we're talking about, but at the end of the day, it ends up being candidates. What don't they see that they don't like?
It's not that Perry, it's almost like if you own a car dealership and someone walks through the door, isn't it a given that they wouldn't be walking in the door unless they wanted to buy a car? Now, what type of car, how much they're going to spend, that's a different conversation. But the mere fact they walked in the door indicates they're interested in what you're selling. It's up to you to close the deal. And so with the black community, Perry, the Democrats have done a marvelous job of basically driving black folks out of the Democratic Party on issues. Black folks, Perry, when the Supreme Court made their decision 2 weeks ago on the transgender issue, not allowing people with male to play in girls' sport, do you realize, Perry, that the NAACP, go on their website, they issued a press release saying that this is racist and transphobic, and we have to stand with our trans brothers. Well, last time I checked, Perry, trans issues was not part of the NAACP's founding charter. And so a lot of black are being forced out of the Democratic Party on principal issues that they are not willing to compromise on. And we conservative, Perry, have not done anything to say, hey, you're with us ideologically. We want you involved with us. What can we do to engage with you in your community on the level that you're on? We want your involvement as well as we want your votes. That has not taken place, Barry.
That is a great point. That is a great point. Have you been black most of your life?
Most of my life, Barry. But you know what's interesting? All the black entrepreneurs I bring to the table, Perry, and I mean, I got blacks who are doing 4 or 5 up to 22 billion a year in business. I can't get beyond when I bring them to the table. First thing politicians in the House and the Senate want is how big of a check can they write. It's like, no, you're not going to do that to my group. You're going to court them. You're going to build a relationship with them. And if once you get to know them and they know you, the money will come. But that's the first thing they lead with, Perry. And that's been very disheartening to me. And this has been going on for years and years. Right. And money is important, but a relationship is more important. And if you get the relationship, not only will the money come, Perry, but how much is it worth for you to have a businessman in the local community that's normally chairman of the deacon board at church, who's doing $4 billion a year, got 5,000 employees, for him to stand in front of his employees and say, this Senate candidate, this House candidate, this presidential candidate is a great guy. They have been very supportive of our business interests. How much is that worth to a politician? Well, if I had to choose between that and money, give me that endorsement.
Yeah, you're spot on with that. You're absolutely spot on with that. I'm going to run out of time. Good to see you, bro, but I do want to ask you one last question. And I know it's a difficult one, but of all the issues facing the black community, what are the top 2?
Oh, by far, entrepreneurship, economic issues. People need to be able to go to the grocery store, provide for their family. They need a good paying job or an environment where they can create their own business. And number 2, education. Perry, the reason you have this movement of socialism, the girl in Colorado who just beat Diana DeGette, she's 29 years old from Ethiopia. The radical liberals control all of our institutions, the school system, the church system, the corporate system. They have been pushing this socialist indoctrination. So a lot of these guys who are 35 and under, Perry, they only have been taught socialism. They know nothing about conservative value and our founding principles. And we conservatives got to start taking control of these institutions.
All right. Hey, good to see you, brother. Been too long.
Thank you, my man.
It's been too long. You're too long. You know, we got to have lunch and spend a couple of hours together sometime.
Okay, good deal. Anytime you want me to, Perry.
Hey, listen, next year the NRB is in Washington, D.C., so maybe we can hook up.
Okay, if you think I'm worthy. I'm not a big shot like Alice in Wonderland.
That's all right. We'll figure out a way to get your free burger.
You got my attention there. That's a deal. That's a deal.
All right, thanks, bro. Good to see you. Thanks.
Thanks, Barry.
Okay.
The Dove, encouraging and informative on television, radio, online, and streaming.
Wake up to what's going on with Mornings on the Dove, weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m.
For in-depth conversation of world, national happenings, and events affecting faith, watch Focus Today, weekday mornings.
The Dove TV covers Oregon, from stations in Albany, Bend, Dallas, Medford, Portland, Salem,